is going on, everybody? And thank you for jumping in here. We got a special night tonight. We're going to be doing a Sunday night stream. Really excited about doing this. It's something that I was looking back through some of the past guests that I had on the channel for the movie club. And I was honestly, I couldn't believe how long I've been doing it. I know people have been doing it way, way, way longer than I have, but I was looking back through this, and these two were the second people I ever had on a live stream, second guest I've ever had on a live stream before. And I couldn't believe it was over a year ago. So believe it or not, I'm still doing this, and some people are still coming out here and hanging out and talking about some movies with me. So I really appreciate that. We'll jump in the chat back and forth tonight, but anybody that's jumping in, whether it's live or the replay of this, I truly appreciate it. It means the world to me, and that's why I jump out and do this. But I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring out my guests for tonight. We got Pete and Hannah from Pete and Hannah's Watchlist. Hello.
Hi.
How are we doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good. I know it's always kind of weird. We talk backstage and then come out and then I ask you how you're doing again. And then it's
Love
like, but really excited to do this. What's that?
Yeah.
Pull behind the curtain. Just,
Yes, exactly. So I like I said, I looked back at that and I couldn't believe it's been over. So it was December of 2023, I believe, that we did the live stream. And
Yeah, we talked about Charade.
What's that?
We talked about Charade.
Yes, we did. So that one tonight, we don't have a movie, but we got plenty on tap to talk about. But yes, that was the movie we watched for that night, and I loved it. I ended up buying it after that. So,
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It is a good movie, yeah.
yeah.
I love Curry.
Oh, I love him too. So he's very charismatic, and I've really enjoyed digging into his films. But I'll say I'm pretty late to dig into some older films, and he's definitely an actor that I've really enjoyed finding out more of his filmography.
It was funny because we saw a movie last night at the cinema, and it was called Heart's Eyes. It's like a slasher film, and there's a scene in it that his Girl Friday, which stars Cary Grant. It's one of his most famous films, and it's playing in a drive-in. So it was like really funny,
Funny.
that we were coming on this and we were talking about Cary Grant. So
I love that. And Hard Eyes, I might actually watch that tomorrow in the cinema. So
very fun, very
Yep.
funny,
Yeah.
funny slasher.
It's one of those like parody rom-com slasher movies.
It sounds like you can have just a good time with it then.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I've already heard my dog saying hi to everybody tonight, so I apologize, but we might have some barks every once in a while. He likes to roam the house and play with the family, so
Love it.
that's how professional I am. You get dog barks and everything else that pops up. But so Hard Eyes, you enjoyed it. You got out to the theater and
Yep.
saw that one.
Yeah, it's.
Or cinema.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I would definitely say it's a watch, but I would you probably rate it poorly. Like we've got like our silly ratings, so we probably would give it. I fell asleep, which is a 1 star, but it's definitely.
I'd give it more than that.
I think
definitely-
Hannah
it's definitely-
disagrees.
I would give it more than that because you gave there was the Mark Wahlberg movie Flight Risk that came out. And
Yeah.
You gave that 1 star. That the movie we saw was significantly better. Hard
Debatable.
Eyes.
Debatable.
Hard Eyes, no. Even though it's very corny, I think it's just it's a much better film.
Predictable, laugh out
Yeah.
loud, funny slasher.
That's okay.
But you can have just a good time with it too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was my movie last night. Actually, so last night I stayed home, watched a movie, and it was one. I know it's been out for a while, and some people might say the same things about it, but it was Plane with Gerard Butler.
Oh yes.
We love the Butler.
I love the Butler. I love that, and I do too. I like him a lot too. And I had a fun time with it, but that was what I needed for that period of my night. That type of movie, and it did the trick. It was what I was looking for, you know. And you might say predictable, you might say corny in spots, but it was fun, good action movie.
Well, he did the sequel to Pantera. So Den of Thieves, Pantera, and it was directed by the same guy that did Plane. So
Okay.
yeah, that have you seen the Den of Thieves too?
No, I have not. I like the first one, but I have not seen the second.
So it's not as fast paced as the first one. The first one is, you know, bang, 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 bang. But this one's like a little slow burn. It's like the heist is really cool in it.
The heist.
But it's setting up like a cinematic universe for the Den of Thieves boys. So yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love the Butler.
Love the Butler. That's going to be your quote now. You're going to have to like come out with T-shirts with that quote on there. I always tell everybody I love like certain quotes that people throw out on live streams, and I'm like, there's a merch idea for you. You got to put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So we're not hanging out alone tonight. We got some people jumping in the chat. If you don't mind, I'll kind of try to balance back and forth to jump through these, but I just want to run through real quick and say hi to some folks that are jumping in here saying hi. We got D in here saying, what's up, Corey? Thank you, D, for jumping in here saying hi. We got Rich in here, TurnerFan77, saying, what's up, everyone? Van Gool saying hello. Got Holland Oates in here saying hi. Got Ryan in here saying, hey, everyone. Sorry, I just got to run through these real quick.
No.
I always love doing this. It's fun to say hi to people jumping in and doing it, but it's always a balancing act, right? Doing this and talking with you. Got Jeff in here, John Doe Juggalo, saying hello. Thank you for jumping in here. We got Jimmy, sorry, Scottish Skeet Guy saying howdy, folks. So I'll say this, and Matt, maybe not everybody knows, but it made me just jog my memory here. So Jimmy, Scottish Skeet Guy, he's actually from Scotland, so he's jumping in here tonight to say hi. But I was going to say that Pete and Hannah, my guests on here tonight, I probably should say, if people haven't run across you before, you're from Australia. So
That's
it's Sunday evening for me. It's Monday morning for you. And I'll tell everybody in the description of the video, I'll try to say it again too, but just so I don't forget, I have some links to their YouTube, Instagram, things like that. Go out there, please check them out. The hardest thing, I think, with this whole YouTube crazy thing is just getting in front of people. And just go check them out. Doesn't cost you anything, and you might find your next favorite channel, right? So
Yeah.
We got some highs back and forth. We got Ryan in here. Hello, Ryan, saying from Movies with Ryan, saying hi to D. We got some highs back and forth. We got Jim in here, Jim's movie channel, saying hello, Corey, Pete, and Hannah, and everyone in the chat. Hope everyone is doing well tonight, or whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. Exactly, like just what we were just hitting on. Some highs back and forth. I'll try to run through some of those. Everybody in the chat, I love all the highs back and forth. I might jump through some of those. If I miss anybody, it's not on purpose. If you have a question for any of us, please throw it in a chat. If I miss it, throw it in again, because that's how I work sometimes. I miss some of the things. Jimmy was saying, I haven't seen Hard Eyes yet. Caught Brave New World this weekend, however. I have not seen that one yet. Have you?
Yeah.
Too?
We saw it. It's good. I didn't mind it. I don't know, understand all the hate for all these movies. Like,
I had to digest it, but I was.
the worst thing they did for the new Captain America was put him on TV first. Like, it should have been a movie,
right?
Because you make him a TV star, and then you're trying to get him to go from TV to movies. Like, it's a hard act to follow after you got one of the most popular superheroes in Captain America, played by Chris Evans. Then you put him on TV, and then you got to make him make a movie. Like, and it was just a mess. Like, they have like 6 writers on there, and you can just tell there's like just so many cooks, and there's all stories everywhere. And they had to cut out a lot of stuff. There was like whole different storylines they had to cut out, so you can definitely tell that it's disjointed. But like, it's a Captain America movie, and he fights a Red Hulk. Like, it's just fun. It's just supposed to be fun, I think.
Yeah, the action is probably the best part.
Yeah, that saved it for you, Hannah, the movie, the action, or
the action. There's one thing in it, but
no spoilers.
It was it's not I won't spoil it. I'm just saying one thing, but it was the action, and also I think Anthony Mackie is he'll be a great Captain America, and it's just hard because he's just I feel like there's too many people he's working with. Like, he has a sidekick in this movie, and I feel like it just doesn't add anything instead of just like it's too much. You know? Just one story through.
And I think what you're saying too, like with it starting on the series, like the internet, like a TV series, not TV series, but like the Disney Plus series, and going I think they just had this great idea of like blending and tying the two together to drive up subscriptions, and like
Yeah.
that would bring people to Disney Plus, and then also then get them out to the theaters to buy tickets. And I think that's proving to be a little much
Yeah.
to
It's
ask
not
for people to try to keep up with.
it's not that easy to keep up with this stuff for one. Two,
Yeah.
to create a connected theme for it. They fluked on it with the first 20
20
movies.
movies.
Yeah.
Like, and they grew into that. But asking people to watch TV, then go to the movies, watching like animated shows as well, and they're all like interconnected. It's becoming homework for people, and
Yeah.
people, don't like school. Most people, I don't like school, but homework is like the worst thing you could do. Like, movies should be like an escape from that, and it's okay having a little bit of connected tissue between movies, but like having like you've got to watch a 8 hour TV program as well as an 8 hour animated program just to make any sense of the movies. I just don't think it's fair to people.
Well, and it's homework you have to pay for too, right? Because you have to pay for the streaming service, you got to pay to go to the theater, and I'm sure everybody, I'm sure you're the same way too. Everything just seems more expensive anymore, so it's like sometimes you're
It's
kind of
a
watching the dollars you spend. So
it's a worldwide problem. Like, the things that are going on in your neck of the woods and exactly the same things over
yeah,
here. House prices, grocery prices, it's all same. The same issues that are happening over there is happening over here.
yeah,
And then they're asking you to buy 4 different streaming services or 5 different services. And something's got to give, like you.
And we don't even get everything on that.
Yeah, like and then we're going to the movies as well. Like, we're very lucky that we get to go to the movies and we get to have like a couple of streaming services. But like, it's getting too much for the average person. Like you go
got to cut it off at some point. It's like,
100%. You go to the movies over here, and if you had a family, a couple of kids, and you were going popcorn and some cokes and stuff like that, you're looking at over $100. Now, not many people can afford that, as well as streaming services. Like, everyone cut cable, but it's just replaced it with something else, and then you've got to have the internet a speed to do your 4K and all that stuff like that. It's just asking way too much for people.
yeah. I had to look it up. I always I got the Google on hand here because I know us in America, we got to make things difficult and be different than everybody else. And so I know currencies are always different across countries, but we were talking about temperatures and distances, things like that. I got to Google it all. But you were saying like 100 Australian says that's about 63 US dollars, and I could totally see that. Same here too. I can go to the theater depending on the time and what screen you go to, because some cost more than others, depending. But I could drop 13 or 15 US dollars on on a movie, no problem. That's just the movie. So like maybe 20, 21 Australian, and yeah, that's just one person and not buying any concession or anything. And
Yeah, and then like, not to mention you got IMAX as well. Like, so you want to see it on the best screen. IMAX is way more expensive than normal theaters and stuff like that. So they're asking a lot from you to do all this stuff. No wonder
Right.
why people feel disconnected from the universe now.
yeah, yeah. I think they had a big master plan that I can see where they were going with it, but it just, yeah, I think it kind of backfired a little bit and maybe lost a little steam for the movie.
And I think it didn't help when it came to what they really wanted to do with the Quantumania sort of stuff, but they had to change things because the actor that was playing that character, you couldn't use him anymore. So then they had to go back to Robert Downey Jr. So a lot of their storylines won't be synced because Loki, that was another TV show that was supposed to be the start of their world, but yeah, that didn't work. So yeah.
Interesting. All right, I'm going to run through a couple more of these. We'll keep going here, but Dee was saying he's such a good actor. All the movies he's in is always so good.
That's true.
And
Butler.
Butler, probably Butler. Yeah. I always
Love
get a
Butler.
disconnect. I fall behind on the chat sometimes, and then.
No,
So
we got
thank
you.
you.
We got
You two are going to keep me in line tonight. Keep me going. Jim was saying
Sparta.
this is Sparta. Oops, wrong Butler
Yeah.
movie. Jimmy was
Yeah.
saying, don't forget to hit the like, or don't forget to like the video, folks. So thank you. Jimmy, you're always good about throwing that out there for everybody. Jim was saying, Pete loves The Butler. I love his Tombstone poster.
Great movie.
Right behind you. All three of those movies are great movies, the posters.
Yeah. We've got a few movie posters in the new media room. So, yeah, those three. Then we've got Singing in the Rain, Batman 1989, The Sting, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Oh,
Hook,
nice.
Lethal Weapon 3. Yeah.
Hard to argue with any of those. Those are
Got some new ones coming. So, we'll do a big tour one day once it's all done. It's not quite finished.
I just have some sitting on the floor. You can barely see. I got a little bit of They Live sitting back there. You only can see like a little bit of it. But Van Gool is saying Butler is a good actor, but kind of okays the same roles.
He does the same role. Yeah. It's like a warm blanket, Just put the Butler on,
Hey.
Greenland, love the Greenland. What was the movie that we were talking about on a podcast not too long ago? And it was Law Abiding Citizen, where he plays sort of like the bad.
I just bought that one, a used copy of the Blu-ray of that. Not just
that is a
couple weeks ago.
That is a banger.
It goes a little crazier than I thought when I originally saw that in the theater. I didn't realize. I don't know. It goes a little. I don't. What did you both think about it?
Hannah hasn't seen it, but
okay. Hannah was smiling. I thought she didn't care for it.
No, I love Jared Butler.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
Great. I like him a lot.
Pete goes to the movies by himself, and Hannah goes, "No, I'm not going to see that one."
Oh, I do that all the time. I go to the cinema all the time by myself. Jimmy was saying, question, do you remember the first DVD of VHS if you've... Wait, sorry. Do you remember the first DVD of VHS if you're as old as me you bought? Or so one of the other that you bought, the first one you bought.
VHS was Back to the Future.
Nice.
And DVD was... I think it was the Rocky collection, but the first individual movie it was Bring It On, starring Kirsten Dunst.
Nice, nice.
Wow, what a movie!
You admitted it. It's on. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I was 18 when I first got my first DVD player. It was one of my first paychecks. I used to work at the casino in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And I bought a DVD player, and then I started buying movies every week. And the first I bought Rocky Collection, and it didn't work on my DVD player. I found out that it needed a Sony. And then, so I bought Bring It On instead just to see if it worked. And mate, that movie, all the boys came over. That movie got a workout.
So I've never seen the movie before, but so I'm going to admit, I bought the Blu-ray of that not too long ago because a friend of mine keeps on saying, he's like, I don't care what you think. It's a good movie. Go, like, you'll have fun with it. Just go buy. And I found a used copy of it really cheap.
It's about cheerleading, Corey. Cheerleading.
Yeah.
Stars Kirsten Dunst and Elijah Dushku, Gabrielle Union.
So you got to figure that out. I'll say a VHS, I don't remember the first, but DVD, I do remember. I think I bought a couple at the time, but I think some of the first ones I ever had was Saving Private Ryan and Matrix, The Matrix. I think those two were like among my first ones that I bought of DVDs. And I just thought it was amazing.
The Matrix made in Australia, in Sydney.
There you go.
There you go.
we got to tie it in. So I was bringing up. So last time we spoke, I was bringing up some Australian films, and we still got to do our bromance live stream of The Man from Stony River.
We should watch that. We should watch that.
I totally rewatched that and talk to you about that one. And then we got to find one for Hannah that she would actually appreciate and have fun with. Do you have any Australian films that you're like, oh, this would, or is that digging too deep there?
I don't hate Australian films. I just find they're a little bit, corny. I actually prefer New Zealand cinema to Australian films just because it's more funny. I get the humor. Here, I feel like we poke fun at ourselves way too much, and I don't enjoy it. Like, I probably watched kid movies of Australian films, then yeah, I don't know.
So if I
Oh.
accepted a New Zealand entry for your film, that'd be okay.
Yeah.
What's your
Like,
favorite New Zealand one?
I'm thinking of like Little Purple.
Oh,
Or I was
that is
thinking,
good, that's
Or I was
good.
thinking there was this
Once Warriors?
marching band one. Where we saw red, white.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, it was a really funny, based on a
What's it
A
called?
Tongan,
Yeah,
red,
red,
white.
white, and brass.
Yeah,
Red, white, and brass is a marching band one, and then also even the soccer one that did not do well with
Oh, Taika
Michael
Waititi, yeah.
with Michael Fassbender. It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, I like
remember the
him.
name. Yeah. It was funny, but I don't think it really found its audience for that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it's Red, White, and Brass was 2023. It's
Yeah,
about the Tongan
Marching.
in the World Cup, Rugby Union World Cup. They did a marching band to get free tickets to the World Cup, and they never had done a band before. It was actually quite good.
Yeah.
I'll
I
have to-
like those movies. I don't know.
I'll have to look that up. But well, it sounds like a feel good movie. Like it's a
Oh,
the
yeah.
the
Yeah.
underdog feel good movie. Like
Yeah, it's the old Disney classic,
okay.
Yeah.
No, I'll have to go back and try
And
to look for
I
that.
think Last Goal Wins.
Last Goal Wins. Yeah, the
Taika
Taika
Waititi.
Waititi. Yeah, soccer movie as well.
I have heard of that one, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's definitely Taika Waititi's humor, but I don't think everyone got it. It's
Michael Fassbender, isn't it?
yeah, he's funny in it.
No, I like him. I'll have to look that up. I did hear about that one, so but both of them I wrote down.
Nick
I'll have
Goal. Sorry, Nick Goal Wins. Nick
What's-
Goal Wins.
Okay.
Nick
Next
Goal
goal
Wins.
The team had never scored a goal.
Yeah, they lost to it was that's based on a true story as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple more movies to look up here. I love this. That's why I always have a pen and paper next to me when I'm doing these things. So, we got 80s made in here saying, "Hey yo, hello 80s, thanks for jumping
Hey,
in."
yo. Hey, yo.
Jim was asking. Okay, got a question for Pete and Hannah. Have you seen Not Quite Hollywood? I'm gonna mispronounce that one.
Yeah,
Ozploitation documentary.
Yeah.
And if you have, what are your thoughts?
Haven't. I
Haven't
wrote
watched
on my
it.
list.
Yeah, right on the list. Haven't seen it. What is?
Not Quite Hollywood. I'll have to.
Write it down. Everyone's just writing it
We're all
down
silence as we're writing.
for later.
Great podcasting.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm not great about that. I'll just be like quiet and start writing stuff. But Jimmy was saying Brave New World felt like a second season of the TV show, not the next big Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yep, very cool.
It's unfortunate because it has potential.
Jim was saying I never saw the Captain America TV show, and quite frankly, outside of the latest Deadpool movie, I haven't really cared for any of the Marvel movies since No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think since No Way Home, all of them have been real either setup movies or like final. Yeah, like Thor: Love and Thunder was like a final Thor movie, to be honest, and then everything else has been a setup for something else or someone else in the universe, and it's not been fun.
Yeah, there's a lot I've missed. The newer ones, but
You haven't missed anything.
I haven't missed much. I'm okay. Jimmy was saying, 2 adults, 2 kids plus snacks. We're about 60 pounds at the cinema. So
Yeah.
that's going to be more for me. I know the pounds to US dollars, it's higher, but you know.
60. Yeah, well,
Pounds is
60
a
pounds.
lot.
That's like 120 Australian. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's pricey. Well, maybe that's why I go to the theater by myself. I just go, no, it's kidding. My kids are older now too, so they're not coming to the movies with me too much. So Jim was saying, outside of the higher prices, the main reason I don't go to the theater that often anymore is because there's nothing to see. Everything is based on an IP. Okay, so like a lot of redos or sequels or
well, top 10 last year were all IP driven movies. So
And
either sequels
sequels
or based on books or
yeah.
Based on
you know,
musical.
based on musical. So yeah, like not great for cinema, but there were, some good stuff out there.
There was original-ish movies.
Yeah, Conclave.
It was based on a book.
Based on a book, but still
I
good
haven't
movie.
seen that one. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, directed by Edward Berger, who did All Quiet on the Western Front a couple of years ago on Netflix. He directs, and it's a thriller throwback. It's like that movie would be safe to put it in the 90s cinema. Like it was, It was really good.
Yeah, it's like the Pope meets Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Like, that's the vibe.
And Election with Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah,
it's like, that is
so you got the clicks going and
yes.
just at a different
100%.
level, maybe.
Oh, yeah. No, pretty much the same. Like
No.
they have at Eatery, it's like Mean Girls. They sit in their little sections.
Yeah,
And,
there's secrets, backstabbing, all that jazz happened in the movie.
Conclave.
Yeah.
I might have to check that out. I've heard of that one, but I have not seen that one.
Great cast, all great lines.
Oh yeah, Ray Fiennes.
Stanley, John Lithgow,
Yep, it's hard to argue with those names.
Isabella Rossellini. God damn.
Muckman Movies isn't here saying good evening, everyone. Anyone seen The Order starring Jude Law yet? I watched it tonight and thought it was very good.
Over here, it's on Amazon Prime, and I started watching that. Yep. True story, I heard. It's about an FBI agent that goes undercover in alt-right, trying to overthrow the government sort of thing. So, yeah.
I have not seen that one.
So, yeah, it's quite interesting.
Some highs back and forth. Jimmy saying Gerard Butler is a national treasure.
I love how they call him Jerry. I love that. Jerry. Love it.
Jerry. I said, yep, Gerard. I still said Gerard. It's funny when I'm doing live streams, like I'll read something and I see it and I know what they're saying, but the words that come out of my mouth are different than what I'm looking at, but hey, that happens.
Yeah.
But, you get a little bit of his accent in playing. I was just talking about that. So you get more of the Scottish.
Yeah.
Adrian James in here saying hello, everyone. Thank you, Adrian, for jumping in here. Jimmy was saying Tombstone is ripe for a 4K special edition release.
It's one of those movies that has like interesting copyright situation. So those movies sometimes are hard to get 4K releases because they're disputed copyright. There was disputed who actually directed the film. Like a lot of people, the rumor was that Kurt Russell took over directing the movie halfway through. So it's one of those movies that when those studios, because I think it was like Hollywood Pictures or something like that. So sometimes those movies are hard for releases. So hopefully it does, because I'd grab a 4K copy of Tombstone. Awesome. I'll be your Huckleberry. Yep.
It's a shame too, because that's like one of those that you would think it'd be a shoe-in for a 4K release with some of them you see coming out, because I don't know, there's a good fan base to it and very quotable. It's a good movie. So it's a shame when they get tied up in some of that. Right.
Same. It's one of those movies that came out very similar time to another Wyatt Earp movie. So Kevin Costner did a Wyatt Earp.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got that on Blu-ray as well. Like that, like when those movies come out at the same time, it's funny how like one movie gets legs and the other movie doesn't. So
So talking about, sorry, go ahead.
There was supposed to be so there's a movie that came out at similar time called Outbreak, and that starred Dustin Hoffman, Kevin Spacey, Donald Sutherland. There was supposed to be a movie at the same time that was based on the same story. And then they got to cinema first, and then the other one went by the wayside. So it's funny, like, because speaking of Jerry Butler, he did a movie called Olympus Has Fallen. At the same time, that was released as White House Down. Olympus Has Fallen had 3 sequels. White House Down didn't work. Yeah. Directed by the same guys that did Independence Day. Jamie Foxx, Channing Tatum, just didn't work.
White House Down's better, though.
That's Hannah's take on those movies. Yeah.
It's very dumb, but it's dumb fun.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one, serious.
You could have a good time with it. But you were talking about Westerns and Kevin Costner and talking about Wyatt Earp. So one that I really enjoy, and I know some people will find it boring, whatever, but Open Range is one that
Yeah.
I enjoyed with it. And to get a good Blu-ray of that, I had to import one from the UK. So
Yeah.
we didn't have a good Blu-ray option in the States. So very good
Did
one.
you see Kevin Costner's last Western Horizon?
I own it. I bought it on a sale just recently through Amazon. And I have not watched it yet, so I have not seen it. But I have it, and I'm ready to watch it. I'm excited to watch it.
So the second one was supposed to be released a couple of months later, but it didn't. The move one didn't do well. So
didn't go so well.
So recently at the Santa Barbara Film Festival, they showed the Horizon Part 2, and they reckon it's even better than number one. So
Okay, well,
I'm just saying.
number one was like a setup movie.
Okay, so I've heard that from some other people. So Hannah, you felt like that? It was just like it didn't go.
Well,
it was just like I'm working towards something better that I want to go see.
you can like they have like towards the end of the movie they even give like shots of what happens in part two. Like it wants you to build up it's building up momentum. Like even at the end of this movie it builds it up. But Kevin Costner himself, it takes an hour in before you get Kevin Costner's storyline because there's different storylines, and it's like, that's odd. The movie, yeah.
And it's a long movie
it's
too. So I think that kind of goes against it a little bit too in the theaters. And
it would have been the best TV movie ever. But yeah.
So I've heard that from so many people that are like, it would be a great mini series, we would call it here in the States, where it's like it's not a season of a show but it's like too long for a movie, too short for a season, and they call it a mini series, where it breaks it up in episodes basically. And
yeah, we thought that as well. Look, he did it like one few years ago at Hatfields and McCoy.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's similar to that. That's what Horizon is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do a speed run here. I know I've been falling behind, and I'm jumping back and forth. But everybody, thank you so much for throwing the chats in here. I'm trying to balance it out, but I appreciate it. But Patrick's in here saying good evening. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm going to jump by some of the highs back and forth. But Jim was saying I had a theatrical teaser poster for Revenge of the Jedi before they changed the title. Unfortunately, I lost it in the file. Ooh. Yeah, that probably would have been worth a pretty penny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi was actually the first Star Wars movie I got to see in the theater when I was a kid. So.
Yeah. I remember seeing that movie one Christmas with like my cousins, and we had like a videotape of it, and we just loved the Ewoks. Like it was like we're Ewok kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you bought all those toys. They knew what they were doing at the time. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Jim was saying law-abiding citizen is batshit crazy, but is so much fun. And then Patrick saying I was rooting for Butler the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna run through just some of these. Like I said, I want to say hi to people jumping in. Like Mama Blu-ray in here. Hey Bonnie, saying hi Corey.
Hello.
Thanks for jumping in here. Like I said, if I miss any of these questions, things like that, I'm just trying to balance it out. Throw it in again. I'll try to get to it. But we got Guy in here, Caveman Movies and More, saying good day, mates, and Corey. He's trying to throw out the lingo there for you. Please hit the like button for the couple down under. Yep, thank you very much.
G'day.
So
G'day.
So I'll say, we'll throw it out there too. Brother and sister. So, like, so people.
Yeah, brother and sister. G'day, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, but that I also threw that out there last time when I was talking about some movies that I thought of associated with Australia and whether you would like accept it or like no, that's not. And one of them, I kind of wondered if it'd be on the line or not, but it was Crocodile Dundee, and whether you'd be like, oh yeah, we claim that one, that's ours. And you said you claimed it, right?
National treasure, mate.
Yeah, national treasure. All right, what do you think of with U.S. slang or terms? Is there anything that comes to your mind when you think of somebody from the States that? So if somebody says "good day" to you, that you'd be like, "Oh, that's something you would think of for somebody from the States."
I don't know. It's a lot normal now because we get so much American TV and movies. Like it's just normal to us.
Yeah.
Like you don't get as much of our content, so that's why it's sort of, throwing down the strip on the Barbie and all that stuff like that. But well, we just get so much American content, like it's just normal for us.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not really.
So do you just
Yeah.
take it in and enjoy it, or do you get annoyed by that?
Yeah. No, like it's just second nature over here. It's just what
Yeah.
you grow up with. Like you grow up with like our television programs over here when we were growing up. They were like all American. Like they were like that's what we grew up with. Everything that was on your television, we got. So there was a few Australian television shows like there's famous soapies and stuff like that. Like we have Home and Away and Neighbours. A lot of like the stars from our movies and stuff like that.
You're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, like Chris Hemsworth all
Margot
started on
Robbie.
those. Margot Robbie, they started on those.
Oh,
soaps.
yeah.
So we get those. We get those, but they're mostly our TV programs are all like, we grew up on like West Wing and ER and Friends and the same shows that you guys watched. So like American, movies, music, food, all that stuff. Like it's all over here. Like the McDonald's is just we call it Macca's. We've got like so many fast food restaurants over here that are all American. KFC, it's big over here. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, KFC's big.
Domino's, Pizza Hut. So like we're just like mini America sometimes.
One I know, talking about series, that I know we talked about a little bit the last time, and I'll still drop in and watch episodes once in a while because I really liked it, but there's not a good physical release I can get a hold of around here, but was Mr. In Between. And I can't remember if you actually saw that at the time or not.
Yeah, we do produce some like really good TV. There was the other one, Call from Accounts. I think that's over in the States. Calling from Accounts.
Oh,
That's like a big. Yeah, I think it's on.
It's a comedy.
Comedy, yeah. It's it's been a hit over here, and I heard it was a hit over in the States as well. So stuff like that.
Very good. Muckman was saying, I watched Quigley Down Under last night. Really good Western set in Australia starring Tom Selleck and Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman plays.
I do that. I have that.
Hans Gruber in the Outback.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Adrian saying, I remember my first DVD I bought was RoboCop trilogy, and it was the first Blu-ray was the Golden Compass. I can't remember my VHS.
Okay.
I can't remember VHS because I got some for gifts.
The old one.
Yeah. Bad adaptation of a book that's like top of the list.
That's good stuff.
Muckman was asking, what's your favorite Australian film? Do you have one?
Mine's easy. You go.
Can I go the Fall Guy?
Is that an Australian film?
No.
It's made in Australia.
It's made in Australia.
My favourite Australian film is A Man from Snow River.
Ah, that's a great one. I grew up with that
Babe.
one. I have a lot of
Oh,
nostalgia.
Babe counts as an Australian movie. Babe counts.
Babe, then. It's Babe. Babe
Babe?
counts. Babe. Yeah. It's That'll do, pig. That'll do.
That'll do.
Yeah.
I love that one though too. I watched that a lot when my kids were younger with them. So it's got a lot of both of those have a lot of nostalgia for me because I think we were talking about last time. Man from Snowy River. I watched that with my brother a lot on a VHS tape. We wore that thing out, but we grew up with horses and always kind of loved movies that kind of leaned into some of that lifestyle that went a little further rustic or Western. I'll say Western still with that. Just the cowboys, everything, whether it's Australia or US. Yeah, it's a good movie. Babe, that's a good one
We
too.
have to do a live watch along for Man from Snow River.
I have not watched that in a long time. I have a Blu-ray of it, but
we should put that on. That'll be that's good.
no,
The
that's a
message.
good movie. Hannah's like, I'll skip that one.
People go for it.
Hannah will be like, I'll skip that one. Let me know when you watch Babe.
I'll sit there. I'll look at the horses. I'm done.
The guy that plays Jim Craig, Tom Burlington, he's in another movie about a horse called Farlap.
Oh yeah.
Farlap, Australian famous racehorse. End up going to Agua Caliente, which is in Mexico, ran in a race over there, won it, and then ended up dying in California. And everyone said that Americans killed
He was
Farlap.
assassinated.
He was assassinated by Farlap. And there's a famous line in that movie, and it's called, he goes like, you do it, Hen, you do it justice.
He wasn't just a horse. He was the best.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So that's something we have against Americans. You killed our best horse.
Yeah.
I hope that's not true.
No, it's true. It's
Well,
true. It's
yeah,
true.
theorized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's,
love horses, so I grew up
so
with them. So
you know, like because the big conspiracy over there for you guys is like the JFK assassination.
oh sure, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
huge, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
conspiracy theories galore. Over here, it's about a horse. That's our country. This horse was so famous. He ran 4 days in a week and won on every day
Yeah.
of those 4 days. It went from Saturday to Saturday. He went one on a Saturday, one on a Tuesday, one on a Thursday, one on a Saturday. He carried like huge weights. Like over
Yeah.
here, there's weight racing, and he was a famous horse. So in the Depression, everyone would put all their money on this horse, and that's how they'd pay the bills. And so yeah, he was called the Red Terror because he was chestnut in color, and so he was that famous over here. Promoters from America paid for the horse to go over there and run in the big $100,000 race over there in Agua Caliente, and he first time on dirt, he ended up winning by 10 lengths or something like that. It just killed it, and even though he had a cracked hoof and everything, unbelievable horse. Far Lap. If you have never seen it, stars Tom Bellinson, directed by Simon Windsor. Yeah, it's a good one.
I'm gonna look that up because
And look up the conspiracy theories. They're real. Real. They're real.
the truth is out there. It's like the X-Files of horse racing.
Yeah.
Well, the rumor goes around that he won, and so many people won money on that horse. The mafia killed Far
They're
Lap
like, we
because
can't have that anymore.
because
People
the
can't have a
owner
sure
was
bet.
one of those. Yeah, the owner was one of those guys that wouldn't pull the horse. He would back the horse as well. And
Yeah.
so there was a famous betting coup where he scratched from one race and went to another race, and he knew he was scratching, so he backed the winner of that race into the winner of another race, and he won like an absolute fortune. And they tried to kill the horse in Australia, like the mob tried to kill the horse in Australia, and it's like this is part of the movie. This is not. This is real, guys. It's real.
Yeah, history.
Sounds like a
This is
wormhole.
real history.
It's like a rabbit hole I'm gonna dive down into. with
Yeah,
all this
mate.
Stuff, but
Far Lap.
Miss Caveman's here saying hi to everybody. Thanks, Miss Caveman, for jumping here. Gonna run through some of these really quick here. Holland was like, Corey, if your kids came with you, would you pay? Right? Yes, I would. I would. He's trying to joke with me. I'm gonna run through some of these real quick. Tim, what's going on? Tim, how we doing? Saying hi. Thanks for jumping in. If you're still in here, I know I fell behind a little bit on the chat. I'm gonna run through to at least say hi to everybody. Then we'll put a pin in it and keep on chatting along. We got Lost Boy Robin here saying, "Hey, you fine folks. Okay, man, how you are? How are you, my friend?" We got Isabel in here. Hello, Corey. Hello, Chad. Happy Sunday. Yes, thanks for jumping in here. Isabel saying 20 likes. Thank you, everybody. Throwing a like in there. Appreciate it always. Miss Game was saying one of my horses was the 5th great grandson of War Admiral and the 6th great grandson of Man of War. He passed away last month. So there's some big race horses right there.
So War Admiral was the horse that went into battle against Seabiscuit, and Seabiscuit was the son of Hardtack, who was the son of Man of War. And so that was in the movie Seabiscuit. They had a battle at Pimlico
It all
Racecourse.
connects.
Yeah. And a funny story about the Seabiscuit. So the guy that rode Seabiscuit, but not in the match race, that was George Wolfe, famous American jockey. The jockey before he got injured before the match race, his name was Red Pollard. And Red Pollard used to ride in Agua Caliente, and he was given the saddle that was worn by Far Lap. So all ties back together. Far Lap, saddle. Hannah just thinks I'm stupid, but it is actually true.
You can connect all the horses.
Red Pollard, the saddle that he rode on Seabiscuit, was the same saddle. It was given to him by the trainer of Far Lap, Tommy Woodcock. There you go.
Wow. You remember more than I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, and you just connected all that. I feel like you should have like one of those pin boards behind you with the red strings going to all the pins, like connecting everybody. But no, it's great. It's fun to like dig into that, and especially when you have some movies that you can watch. And so, nope, got some more stuff written down here. But I was putting a pin in the comments for people jumping in here. Everybody, still thank you very much for throwing questions out there. If you, we'll get back to them as well. But like I said earlier, when we were jumping into this, it's been over a year since I hung out with the two of you. You were nice enough to come out into my channel, not knowing who I am or anything, and to hang out. And you were nice enough to come back again. So over the year, like, what's been going on with the channel? Like, how do you changes, things going on with it? Like, what's been happening?
Okay, so we get invited to premieres now, so that's good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been So
recently we went to the Bridget Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, the new one. Yeah.
Yep, we saw that. That's really good. What else has been going on? We've been doing live drafts. They've been fun. We've picked up a couple of people who did that.
No.
Hannah doesn't
disagrees.
like. She loses her movies.
Last time they went for the attack and they took movies that, okay.
Yeah, we podcast 3 times a week. So we do AFI Top 100, which we review the movies from the AFI Top 100 10-year revisited list. We do What's Next, which is a show about movies that have just been released in cinema. Then we do Movie News, where we talk about what's going on in movies and stuff like that. So that's 3 times a week. Get like a couple of thousand listens on like the different streams like Spotify and Apple. So yeah, and we get a lot of people talking about that. Do like put stuff up on YouTube, and then we do reviews and previews every day. We do like little snippets, like watch or miss in under a minute. We used to do like games and stuff like that, which we'll get back into. It's been like we've been sort of building a media room and working and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll do a bit more content, but we like try and release something at least once a day. And we've got like heaps of stuff. Like we're only up to movie 39 on the AFI Top 100, so we've still got 39 to go there. And then there's another 15 episodes dedicated to movies that made one AFI list and didn't make another.
The 10, yeah.
So that's a few. That's a few bit of content there, and then we've got a couple of different ideas for like,
going forward,
claiming movies that are misrepresented now, and sort of like trying to create a sort of like a law case to why a movie's good. So have like exhibits, and then and as a prosecutor saying this is a really good movie or this is a terrible movie, and then I try and defend it. So like, yeah, and then maybe get like experts from all around the world that like that movie and come on and sort of like, so yeah, so some of our favorite movies are like courtroom dramas, and so that's sort of the podcast we've been working on. So
like A Few Good Men right behind you, right?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, you want me on that wall? You need me on that wall?
Yeah.
So like just claiming different movies, and so that's sort of like stuff that we work on.
Yeah, because I always have to fight for the movies I enjoy. So.
Yeah.
Keep fighting, Hannah. Keep fighting.
Yeah, I will.
So for both of you, when you're throwing that out, that's very cool. Like getting invited to premieres of some movies. Do you have any that were like, not that you didn't like the other ones, but did you have any you got really excited that like, oh, this is something that's really cool for me to get invited to?
We got invited to the Fall Guy premiere. That was really cool because I was a huge Fall Guy fan when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Lee Majors. But probably the best premiere that we've been to is Beetlejuice.
That was cool. That was really cool.
Because that was like, we have like a theme park over here called Warner Brothers Movie World. And so they invited us, and then they let us go on the rides and stuff like that afterwards. And yeah, that was really cool. And they had like Beetlejuice dress up, and that was really cool.
It was a lot of fun. It was also fun because I've been there before, and the theater that they did is their like theater they use for like 40X kind of thing movement.
Yeah.
But they were all stationary, and it was just like high chairs. Everyone sitting on high chairs watching the movie. It's really funny.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, did you ever think that when the two of you started, collaborating and like doing this thing, that you'd get stuff like that being offered to
It
you
was
to be
all
able to do?
it was always a goal.
Would
It was,
hope.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was the goal.
But
Like,
is it
you know,
cool to, I mean, to have that then come true then, if that's like, you were like, if that's a goal that you set out to and now it's coming to you.
yeah. Well,
Um,
I remember when we first got someone reached out to us, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is so cool." So we go we're only invited so far to the Warner Brothers and
Yeah.
Universal. So if anyone's watching from Sony or Paramount or Disney, yeah,
link in the
we invite
description.
yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, that was just people watching our content, and yeah, so that was really
That's
cool.
cool. So what's
Yeah.
some, do you set out goals each year? Or since you've been doing that, are you setting out new goals that you're trying to reach towards for your
Yeah.
channel and your content,
Yeah.
your podcasts?
Yeah, it's just getting better. So the first year was to produce a podcast, and we did that, and then the second year was to produce the AFI Top 100 podcast, which we really enjoyed. It's something that we do together. We take turns in doing the research, and it's really interesting that you find DVDs with commentary, you find podcasts, articles, and you sort of collate it all together, and then you talk about it for a half hour to an hour about the history of the movie being made. That was really cool. So that was a goal to get that podcast right, and we've done that really well. The goal this year, the goal last year was to do the media room. We did that, and now it's just getting it right. And then the goal this year is to probably create more, probably content with doing drafts and stuff like that, and doing more stuff like this. That's probably more the goal. But
Awesome.
especially we're really getting that next podcast ready. We're gonna have to have more people sort of coming on and stuff like that. So getting more of that online. Once we do the AFI Top 100, we're sort of you got to plan the podcast ahead. So because we've only got probably this year's content for the AFI, planning next year. So you're starting to get that right. And so you want to get that right before you go to other people and say you want to be involved in this. So yeah, it's practicing that. And then because we do a lot of practices before it goes on live and stuff like that. So yeah, so doing that, and then you got to work as well and do the other
life.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you sleep sometime in there too, right? So.
Yeah, plus we go to the movies all the time, and then we watch a lot of streaming stuff, and then we buy 4Ks and Blu-rays, and then we want to watch that stuff as well. So it's just and then I like sport and stuff like that, so sport takes up a lot of my time as well. So, and Hannah likes gaming, so she does a lot of gaming stuff, and
Oh, nice.
and then we got into wrestling last year, so we're been watching a lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling. So we are busy. So yeah, so there's goals, but it's never is there ever a number to you?
What a
Number subscribers. We don't really worry about that stuff like that. We think that just comes with good content, so getting the content right is more important than the numbers, because people will find you if you produce good content. So
yeah,
we find.
Hannah, I always have a hard time reading you. So sometimes you smirk, and then I'm like, is that a good smirk or a bad smirk? But with the gaming thing came up, I was trying to read your face, and you could. So, is that something you have fun with that you're doing?
Yeah, I was thinking about. Recently, I've been playing Marvel Rivals, and that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, and I was just thinking about that game, and yeah,
So do you stream that, or do you just play it?
No, I just play it for fun.
Okay.
Because I like to chill out. That game does not chill me out. But I did recently play. They released an Indiana Jones game.
Yeah.
Which is actually really fun. It was a really cool action adventure game, and yeah, it was actually much better than the two most recent films in the franchise.
It's funny when that happens, right?
Yeah, I was invested. The Nazi characters were diabolical, and yeah, it worked. It just I love. I just loved playing Indiana Jones. It was like really fun, and they didn't have Harrison Ford because they got a young actor to play because it was set between Last Crusade and the first movie. It was set in between, and yeah, it was just fun. It was really fun.
I was
Those
actually
games-
just. What's that? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So I enjoy those games, the action adventure type.
I was actually just starting to play a little bit of RoboCop Rogue City. And,
Oh yeah.
I had never played it before, but it went on sale, and I actually grabbed that. And because one of my buddies, he was like, I know you love the movie, so he was like, if you love the movie, just buy that thing and like go for it. So I've just started kind of cracking into that a little bit. So it was kind of fun to do that. But so would you say some of your like standout milestones like for both of you so far this past year is like some of those premieres, or like what other things have kind of stood out in your mind that you're like we're happy about or proud about, that we're going on?
I don't know. I like the AFI.
AFI, yeah. AFI is probably the one
I
we've
have
got
some
the most
questions coming up about that. I wanted to dive into that a
it's
bit.
probably the one that we've got the most feedback from, the most listens on podcasts and stuff like that. So yeah, AFI probably the thing that we're most proud of, and like really enjoyed doing that. Like some weeks like it feels like a chore, and then other weeks other weeks
like
it's like,
everything.
oh my god, this came out of nowhere. Like, oh, that's so interesting, this movie, So the story behind it and stuff like that. Hannah hosted her first one last week. Like normally she just does the recap, but she hosted the one last week, and she did a great job with sound and music. And she was really good. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, you should listen to it.
I have to go back and I'll have to do that one. Hannah, I'm always so hard on myself. It's so hard. I was laughing because a friend of mine invited me to go onto one of his podcasts, and he was like, "Okay, it's live." He told me when it went out there, and I went out, and it was the first time not seeing myself, but just hearing my voice speaking with him through a podcast. It was different. I don't know, but I was so hard on myself. But he was like, "Oh no, it went really well. I was so happy with it," and it's still weird, I think, to go back and watch or listen to myself, I think, on any of these things. So
I'm the same. I can't listen.
I have to edit all our podcasts, and so I listen to all the stuff, and it's great.
Yeah, because you love listening to yourself talk. So.
It's great.
I love the sibling rivalry. They're a little bit going on there. But I honestly, I still have a hard time. I ended up listening to the whole thing, but I had to like take breaks, and it was not because of him, or I thought the podcast was great, but it was just only listening to me talking. I was like, I gotta split it up a little bit.
Well, if you can't listen to your own content, who's going to listen to it? That's what
Right.
I say. So.
I know, but it's like one of those sayings too. It's like where I think I'm my own worst critic, where there's like things that probably nobody else will pick up on, but I'll be like, why did I say it like that? Or like, wow, my pitch went way up on that one, or, some little things like that. I think you just hyper focus on yourself sometimes when you're just hearing it isolated and just hearing your voice on those things. But, I'm going to say hi to a couple new people jumping in here, but, Caveman was just saying, Pete, we also live in Kentucky, so home of the Kentucky Derby. And this caveman was saying, just 50 miles from Churchill Downs. Yeah. And then we had Eli, how we doing? Jumping in here, saying, what's up, everyone?
The Bluegrass State, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
Bluegrass State, yeah.
It could be right. I'm wrong.
Second Saturday in May, Kentucky Derby, I think second Saturday in May.
Got the Derby? Anybody using any saddles you know of that were used on other? No, I'm just kidding. you were just like having all the connections between all the other ones, but you're like, shut up, Corey. Move on to
No, it's good. We can talk about horse racing movies all day.
Oh no, I love them too. I'll jump into that. But
Secretary.
Oh,
what a movie!
Yeah.
I
know not a race movie, but have you ever watched I know I'm like going off topic here, but still with the horse. But War Horse. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen?
Oh.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sad
know.
movie.
Yeah. Yep. But I don't know. That popped in my head, but I know not race, but completely different.
No,
but horse.
Horse Jason.
Yeah. What's adjacent?
Adjacent. That's going to be my new category of movies that I'll talk about. These are my horse adjacent
Racing
movies.
Stripes. Racing Stripes is not a horse movie; it's a horse adjacent movie because he's a zebra
Yeah.
in horse racing.
Yeah.
My son loved that movie when he was young. Racing Stripes. Oh gosh, I forgot
fantastic.
all about that.
It's a fantastic film.
Oh,
It's another Dreamer. That's another good with young Dakota Fanning with Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Dreamer.
I don't know
Dreamer.
that one. Wrote it
Yeah,
down.
cool.
I'm gonna have like 12 more movies to watch here before. We were hitting on. So you're talking about the AFI Top 100 series that you're doing. I was curious if, with that jumping in, you're probably hitting some movies you might have not have seen before. Have you had
Most of
any
them-
that? Was that most of it?
Most of them I've seen. The only
Okay,
ones I
okay.
hadn't seen a couple of silent movies like Sunrise 2, and then there was like D.W. Griffith's movie that I hadn't seen. But most of them Hannah hadn't seen. So like the big ones she'd seen like Jaws and
I
stuff.
haven't
like that.
seen Jaws.
Oh, you hadn't seen Jaws?
No, I hadn't seen Jaws.
Yeah, so it's good.
As-
Hannah's fresh eyes. Then I've sort of like seen it a few times, so it helps because you get into different perspectives. Although Sound of Music, you'd seen that hundreds of times.
No, but also, as we're getting towards the top of the list, there are some movies I've seen
yeah,
multiple times.
So-
But
So whether it was a first time watch for either of you or a rewatch, but maybe it's been a while since you'd seen it, have any surprised you, good or bad, that kind of jumped out that you were like, it's there, some of these that are, because sometimes there's some of these that you've heard of forever and have been put up on a pedestal and you finally get around to watch it and then you're like, whether it hits you the same way or not. I don't know. Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but.
No. I was really surprised with Hannah's reaction to Midnight Cowboy because, like, if those who haven't seen that movie, it's about male prostitution, and I thought Hannah would not go for it at all, but Hannah actually liked it, and I was so surprised. I was really surprised. Like, yeah, that was the most surprising that Hannah had that take. Because when I said, "Oh, what are you going to give this rating?" and she goes, "Banger," and I was like, what? Yeah, let's give it a banger. Like, because we try not to tell each other what we think before we record, and then you get to the end, and Hannah goes, "What are you thinking?" And I'm thinking, "Oh, well, let's go banger." And she goes, "Yeah." And then other times I go, "Oh, let's we watched Bonnie and Clyde a couple of weeks ago, and I love that movie. I like it's one of the movies that ushered in a new era of Hollywood."
And I'm seeing a different take from
And then Hannah hated it. I hated it, and I was like, "Oh, but you like Midnight Cowboy?" She goes, "Yeah, that movie was good."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow!"
Every movie hits people different,
But then sometimes we disagree, but then other times we agree. Like we both, I've never liked it, but both totally agree with Taxi Driver. It's not one of our movies, right?
oh yeah, no.
And so, that one was really hard to do a show about because we're trying to see the good in it, but actually we just didn't like it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it really surprises me what she actually does like and what she doesn't like. Like it's just okay, this is going to be a Hannah movie, and then she didn't like it because I thought the stylized violence of Bonnie and Clyde with Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty, I thought, oh, she's going to go for this. She thought it was boring, and I was like, "This is great."
Yeah.
I like the going for comedy, and I really liked it. And then Midnight Cowboy, out of nowhere, she liked it. Just brilliant. She loves Dustin Hoffman. I never would have thought that in a million years that she loves Dustin Hoffman, but she loves Dustin Hoffman.
I was indoctrinated young because Hook was on all the time, but also
yeah.
Mr. McGowan's Wonder Emporium. As a kid, I loved that movie. And then my favorite episode of Simpsons is the one Lisa Substitute.
Oh, yeah.
Where Dustin Hoffman plays Lisa's substitute teacher,
Yeah.
Mr. Bergstrom. Yeah. And so I
Yeah.
I have a soft spot sometimes.
That's all right.
You know?
That's all right. That was one actually I had gotten last year and I didn't rewatch it yet. I still want to. Was Rain Man with
Oh
Dustin
yeah.
Hoffman and Tom Cruise. Yeah, that's a good one,
Yeah.
but I haven't watched that. So that any others that kind of jump? Either one of you that have any that kind of jump out?
I was surprised. I liked Jaws. I think I was
Oh,
surprised by that.
yeah,
I didn't think I don't like the water. I don't like sharks, but I do love Steven Spielberg, so that helped. But I was shocked. I was just like, this is actually an entertaining. This is like I understood why it's so beloved. Like I actually was watching and I was like, I understand.
yep,
Like
get it. I
I
get it.
find I get it why it's everywhere. I get it how important it is. It makes sense. I
Yeah,
don't know. When we started the list, and one of the first movies was like "Do the Right Thing" by Spike Lee. That was one of the first times I was just hit with a movie I'd never heard about, and watched it. And I was like, "Oh, wait, this is good. Why is it so low on this list?" It was just, yeah. I don't know. As we've gone through the list, it's really funny because you watch movies and you're like, "This is way too high compared to," yeah. It's really fun as we're going through it.
Another good movie that I remember watching as a kid, but I hadn't watched it since. It was called Sullivan's Travels. It's
all
about
right.
Yeah,
it's really good. And like those movies are funny, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. Um, Cary Grant movies, I love those. You know, Philadelphia Story. What
That's
was the other
great.
one? The
Great one.
Bring Up Baby.
Bringing Out Baby.
Bring Up
Oh,
Baby.
that's a cute one. I like that one.
Like watch those as a kid, and then you hadn't watched it in years. They still
Yeah,
hold up. You know,
yeah.
some of the Marx Brothers movies, I was like just crying. Like you didn't like those. That was one thing you don't like. You hate Groucho Marx. Hates Groucho. Hates him.
Don't like them.
I was like crying in some of the scenes, like just laughter. I think I was watching Monkey Business yesterday. It was on cable television over here, and
Yeah.
I was just like full on. Like it's nearly 100 years old, and I'm just like full on, just like, crying with laughter.
Yeah.
But no, Hannah hated those ones.
No, the one you didn't like, I liked, which was the one with Fredonia
Oh,
in it.
Fredonia, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one I was like, oh, that
Yeah.
one's interesting.
But that's the crazy thing when you can have some movies that were like made like however long before you were even alive that still can
Yeah.
evoke an emotion out of you, whether happy, sad, whatever. It's still crazy when some of those can. It like Bringing Up Baby. That was one that I was relatively new to me. I'd bought a year or two ago, and um, I got some genuine laughs out of the thing, And I'm like, how old is this movie compared to me, And
The African Queen, you like that one as well?
That was good too. We watched that. That was I don't know.
That was enjoyable.
That was enjoyable. It also was like, why is this on this? That's one of those ones where you're questioning why it's on the list in the first place because it just seems so. It feels like the list has like movies that have impacted cinema and movies that directors that are incredible, and this is their magnum opus. And then there are movies that are just randomly in it. Like African Queen is one of those ones that just feels quite random.
Hannah's huge take is she hates Stanley Kubrick.
I don't hate, but
not
Hates
top of
it.
the list. Not top of the
Well,
list.
because the one we're recording this week is Doctor Strangelove and
Oh, okay.
and so watching it last night on the big screen, and we were I was just laughing. I was just loving it. And this one, no, not into it. Not
no,
into
I
it.
think I fell asleep.
No, you did not think you fell asleep. You fell asleep. No, and like, so we watched, so since we've watched Spartacus, she's still, so like last night she was like, how's Spartacus on the list? How's it on the list? Clockwork Orange, which is another Stanley Kubrick movie.
Yeah.
Like, and she goes, we're going to watch this one, and then we're going to watch 2001 Space Odyssey. What's this called?
So I thought I was gonna like. I thought I was generally gonna like Clockwork Orange because I like weird,
Yeah.
crazy psychological movies,
That was going to be my question.
but I don't like that film at all. That is actual torture. I don't know why we're allowed to have films like that.
Well, she said, I'm not going to give this a rating. It doesn't deserve
it doesn't
a rating.
deserve a rating.
Like, no rating.
Unwatchable.
Yeah.
So that was one of the questions I was going to ask is if there was any movies that you were going into that you were just like, I'm going to like this one, and you ended up not. So Clockwork
That was
Orange would probably be for you.
Clockwork Orange. I really thought, and then I think 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is coming up. That's also one I haven't seen that I'm hoping, because it's so many of my favorite directors or so many shows have referenced that movie in particular, and I'm like, if I watch it and I don't like it, I'm just gonna sit there and take it. Yeah, it's really odd. I would argue why Kubrick's on the list, because I just find his films, yeah, there's interesting details, but also like there's a maniac at play. But
Yeah.
then Steven Spielberg's on the list multiple times, and I won't argue. I won't
Yeah.
argue with that.
Yeah.
So that's something I won't argue with, because I
love
I
that.
don't know.
You love the Spielberg.
I do.
You do.
So-
You do.
Pete, do you have any that you saw for the first time? You thought, oh, I'm gonna love this one, and you're just, maybe it wasn't
yeah.
quite as high as you thought.
No, the only two movies that I haven't seen so far, the two silent movies that I hadn't seen. So
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
I like that movie.
Hannah really loved that movie. I thought it was good. Yep. The other one was one recently that the
I know what you're talking about.
D.W. Griffiths movie.
It was like
The one that went for like 3 hours.
it was 3 hours. You're not getting back.
3 hours not getting back.
It had some weird subplots about. There was a Jesus subplot that just I don't think went anywhere. There was a really weird one where
It's like a love one, isn't it?
yeah, and there's this one where a woman gets her baby taken away and her husband taken away, and then the husband comes back, and then they're trying to figure out how to get the baby back. Oh god, it just it's one of those movies that just wouldn't stop.
Intolerance, it's called.
Intolerance.
Intolerance, that's what it's called, yeah. My favorite, like, I really like the Hitchcock ones. Yeah, they're my one.
Yeah.
Like, North by Northwest, yeah, A Rear Window.
Window.
Love
Rear
that
Window's my
one.
favorite.
Great. You get good research on those ones. You get, like, the making of, like, that's really good stuff. Like, probably one of my favorite movies on the list is MASH. It's
Wow.
That's another one you
love MASH. Like, just love MASH as a kid. Watched that movie as a kid, and then I watched the TV show. Like, loved it. One of the movies that Hannah absolutely despised was Robert Altman's Nashville. Hated it. I didn't like it either. I wasn't.
I haven't seen it.
I don't think it's his best work.
It's bad.
But it's one of like,
Hannah's like, don't put it at the top of your list.
one of the critics' favorite movies is
Nashville.
Nashville, and yeah, so it's unbelievable.
Jeff Goldblum's in it, but he's silent and he rides a motorcycle, and that's it. That's his whole shtick in the movie.
That's the
Like he
character.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah, no, it's not his best work, but MASH, yeah, love that. Yep,
MASH is funny.
yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to Hitchcock stuff. It's gonna be great.
I was gonna say you probably got some more on the list that you'll be getting to, right? That
Yeah,
will
well-
be Hitchcock. How do you tackle that list? How are you going through it? Like, how are you decide what you're gonna watch next for it?
No, we're just going in order.
Yeah, in order.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
started at 100 and then gone up.
Okay.
Yeah.
We only had to play a little bit of swapsies with African Queen and that, because we were trying to find the DVD and we couldn't, because it didn't exist here.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we were.
Well, some things are available in Australia and some things are not. So then you have to order it over from overseas. And
Sure.
So, yeah, but the pretty much the next couple that we're good. So, but yeah, so this week's Doctor Strangelove, and then next week's The Treasure of Sierra Madre, then Best Years of Our Life, then Bridge of the River Choir, Annie Hall, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. So, like, we've got a
I
few good
struggled
weeks
for
when
a
we come
while.
up. But like,
There's a lot of size there, Hannah.
I struggled for a while.
no, but you had a good stretch. You had Philadelphia Story. You
And
had
Sound of
King
Music
Kong.
and
King
King Kong was fun.
The treasure of Sierra Madre. I actually like that one.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
we'll find out.
yeah, you'll
Houston.
find out. Humphrey Bogart, right? You
Yeah,
got
and like African Queen director, so the same director as African Queen.
Okay,
So
sure.
yeah, like we've got like some great stuff coming up. Like in the 30s, you got Apocalypse Now, Double Identity, All About
Oh.
Eve, High Noon, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, To Kill a Mockingbird, E.T., The Grapes of
Oh.
Rap, King Like It Hot, Chinatown, It's a Wonderful Life, On the Waterfront, The General, which is Charlie Chaplin, Graduates, Sunset Boulevard, Space Odyssey, Psycho, Star Wars, The Searchers, John Ford, City Lights, Not Charlie, Wizard of Oz, Vertigo, Schindler's List, Lawrence of Arabia, Gone with the Wind, Singing in the Rain, Raging Bull, Casablanca, Godfather, and Citizen Kane.
So it
it's
should
good
just
stuff.
get easier and easier for you, right?
Yeah.
It will.
I mean,
And then-
not that you're gonna like everything, but those are some. Yeah, that's a huge list right there. Like
Well,
big names.
So I was doing research because these lists, how they were created, though they put 400 movies and critics just voted them,
Hunger Games, battle it out.
battle it out. So the original 400 list had some of the best movies on there. They had The Fugitive on there.
Yeah.
They had Lethal Weapon. They had Batman. Like, so they made the top
Superman.
400 but didn't make the thing. Then the next 400, which is 10 years later, they got taken off those ones, but they added When Harry Met Sally, which is behind us, which didn't make the top 100 but should have. But A Few Good Men didn't make it both times. Like, it's not in the top 400 movies. You people need to grow up. You need to grow up.
Get
The
some
American
words for them.
Yeah, that movie's great. Yeah. But it's just funny how, how they whittled it down from 400 to 100. So, like, I think they're going to be doing it again. Like,
And it's gonna be hodgepodge.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Be
to see what they
completely
add in-
different again.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they add in the next,
What stays?
And there are a lot of movies like this. You got the old cancel culture going. So, one if movies stay and go and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
Like, the original list had Birthplace of a Nation, which is a W. Greer Griffin movie, which was replaced by Intolerance. So, like, things like that swap. It'd be interesting to see what they'll do.
Yeah.
New critics as well. Like, a lot of critics that were still alive in 2007 are no longer with us. So,
Right.
do they defend their movies? Who's going to take up the mantle of, defending a Last Picture Show or, The Network or, So it'd be interesting to see, what survives and what doesn't. And what does come in,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to I showed that a little bit earlier, but Holland was jumping in and showing some love also with the Midnight Cowboy there. Said Midnight Cowboy rules.
Yeah, amazing.
It was. Great things.
So when you're going through that list, too, have you found any, whether decades of movies or genres, anything that you've been opened up to that you ended up liking, maybe that you hadn't dipped your toe into, up to that point?
I really thought so. I struggle. I love movies from the 30s, the 40s, and 50s. But then when you get to the 60s and 70s, I find that I don't like a lot of those films. But I've been surprised. Like MASH was surprising to me. Peter thought I'd not like that movie at all. Like, because
I'll be honest.
it's a very much misogynistic, but it's so funny. I don't know what it is.
funny.
They tackle the humor and the drama perfectly well, and it's like a balancing act, and
It's movie's funny.
it works.
Yeah.
It just works.
It does.
And it's interesting. Like even Jaws and all this. Like I'm realizing maybe the 70s and stuff does actually have movies.
Oh,
I
so it's great. Yeah.
But I struggle. I struggle with because But I'm getting used to the idea. Okay, it was a decade. Yeah.
You go
There
back
are
on
some
some.
gems in there.
You go back on some years and they've got like 2 or 3 movies from that year on the list, and you go, wow, like what a time
Yeah.
to be alive, And then you look at it, do you reckon we've had movies that are good enough to be on the list in the last 5 years? It's hard to tell, and at the time some movies don't work, and then they find an audience later on, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're going through this list and you go, oh, this movie was a box office failure, but, it's on this list because people found it. Like Intolerance, which is the D.W. Griffith movie, at the time was like the most expensive movie ever made, and it didn't make its money back and ended up like costing this guy his career, but like it's on the list of the top 100, like these things.
The techniques
the
used
technique,
were revolutionary.
100%. So yeah, it's funny how these things work out,
Yeah.
The story behind Jaws is like unbelievable. Like no one thought that movie was going to work, and then it ended up being the movie that created the summer blockbuster. Movies never used to come out in summer. They were like B movies and stuff like that. That Jaws comes out and it creates the summer blockbuster. Then you get Star Wars a couple of years later, and then now movies come out in summer. That in the earlier days, like the movies came out towards the end of the year for Oscars and stuff like that. They were the big movies, like so now like movies come out all the time and can be a hit, like it doesn't really matter. But back then there was periods where if this movie came out then it was going to be a big hit. But like there's movies like they're going to be released and this is going to be a B movie. It's not going to do anything, Bonnie and Clyde was one of those movies. It ended up being a huge hit for Warner Brothers, The Sound of Music, that movie, that was going to either save 20th Century Fox or was going to kill it. End up saving it and end up being a massive, massive, massive hit. So
Yeah.
It's funny how like these things work, and so you don't really know if a movie's going to work, and now all these people saying, "Oh, Captain America failed at the box office." Like it made $192 million at the box office this weekend, guys. So I don't know what you count as failure, sort of thing like that. But movies get picked up, and you go, "Oh, that movie's a classic," And then some movies that are huge box office hits, and you look back now and go, "How was that movie a box
Avatar.
office hit?"
Avatar. Avatar
So
2.
it is good going back through the history of these movies, and the same problems that I were having back then are sort of repeating now. When first television came in, people thought the theatrical experience was going to die. When VHS came in, Beta came in, they thought movies were going to die. So now streaming movies are going to die. It'll come back. It's not going to be as big as movies. Movies peaked in 2000. I think ticket sales peaked in year 2000. So it's not going to be as huge as it was, but there's always place for the theatrical window. They're just going to have to create a window. They're going to have to make movies cheaper again to go to, and then you can still survive, and people still find movies and stuff like that. It's just like people have found physical media again. Like a few years ago, everyone told me that physical media was you'll throw out all your movies. No, I've still got 400 movies. Like. Still adding to it all the time. I'd like to add even more to it if like they keep releasing. It's hard. We don't get as many releases as you guys over in the States. But like things come around, swings and roundabouts. So people just need to chill sometimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to say hi real quick to Sam was jumping in here saying, hey, everyone. So Sam, thanks for jumping in and saying hello.
Hey.
So you're diving into the AFI 100. So you're hitting a lot of big classics, big names, movies. So you're hitting some of those big classics, but you're also saying you're hitting the cinema a lot. You're getting out, seeing a lot of new films. So how are you feeling about the newer films that have been coming out over the past year or coming up here? Anything that you've seen that really piqued your interest, that you got excited about seeing, that you really enjoyed?
Go on, tell the people.
I liked Heart Eyes and Companion, which
That's a shit.
Yeah, Companion and Heart Eyes are both slasher films, and I don't like those films. But
and tell the people what you liked last year. Wicked,
of last year. Wicked, but everyone
tears, actual tears watching Wicked.
That's
because I love the stage musical and the book, and I love Wizard of Oz, so
yeah,
I tear up a lot when I watch that movie.
Conclave, probably one of our favourites from last year. Wicked, another of our favourites. Dune Part 2, that was a great movie. Great on the big screen. Yeah. What else? We enjoyed Fall Guy. Not too many people liked Fall Guy, but we enjoyed it.
I had fun with that. Yeah. Like, don't look into it too far. Just have fun. Got
on 4K. Twisters. We enjoyed Twisters.
That's fun. Yeah.
We enjoyed
Blink
Twisters.
Twice. I like so much.
Blink Twice.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Kravitz.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Like we're bullish on movies. Like people. These people who keep saying movies. I haven't seen a great movie in ages. Yeah, well, we see movies all the time. Like some of them are not great, but some of them, yeah. Like some of them are like absolute chore. Like we watched this Maria. It was about the opera singer Maria Callas, starred Angelina Jolie. That was a chore. That was a chore. Chore. Yeah. Have you ever seen Jackie or Spencer? Directed by Pablo Larraín?
I have not.
Probably don't. They're absolutely
They're chores.
Yeah, not great. They look great. They're visually stunning, but just
pretty movies.
Nah, not great. What else? Amelia Perez. That movie is.
We were the only ones there.
Yeah, it was so bad.
It was not good.
we weren't big fans of The Brutalist. Like, we saw that in IMAX. That wasn't great.
That was a great.
I enjoyed Complete Unknown, but that's a dad movie. That was
I
wasn't
realized
hers.
I don't like Bob Dylan. It was,
Yeah.
a awakening moment.
We've
for
seen
me.
all the Best Picture nominees except for I'm Still Here, which doesn't release for 2 weeks in Australia, and Nickel Boys, which hasn't been released in Australia yet. But we've
Yep.
seen all the other ones.
Yep.
I think I've not really seen any of the Best Picture.
Yeah. So the ones we enjoyed were Wicked, Dune Part 2, Conclave. We love Conclave. It was, Conclave we saw at one of the film festivals over here. Love film festivals. Like, if anyone ever gets a chance to go to a film festival, do it. You find movies that you never. We saw last year. We saw at the French. Oh, We Live in Time. We saw that as well at a film festival. That was terrible. We saw a French movie last year, The Musketeers. Well, they remade The Musketeers, and they remade. It was a huge hit in France, and they bringing it out in one of the French film festivals over here.
It's coming out soon.
The Count of Monte Cristo, one of our favorites. So that'll be good to watch. So yeah, like I go to the Spain Film Festival, Italian Film Festival. You find all these really good movies that don't get wide releases. They're good.
Eventually, those movies get turned into American versions,
Yeah.
so it's good to watch.
That's true. It seems like a year or two after there's there's an American version of that one that just
Well,
came out.
there was that horror movie last year starring James McAvoy called Speak No Evil.
Yeah.
And that remake, and we
Yep.
didn't mind.
Yeah,
We didn't mind. Yep.
I saw
didn't
the
see it.
remake, but I haven't seen the original yet. But which I
The
need to go
remake.
back and.
The remake was good. So there's we like movies, so we're like in the shill for them. So
yeah, but
I'm just looking. I had to look up even what was all on for Best Picture, and the only ones I've seen off of the list is Dune Part 2
yeah.
and Anora. Those are the only two I've seen. Those are the only two I've seen off of the list, I think.
Hannah enjoyed Honora more than I did. I thought they should have did more of the comedy. I thought the comedy stuff really worked for me. So yeah, I really got a kick out of that court scene. The chase, sort of the chasing down sort of scene. That would really work for me. I would have liked more of that. But yeah, Hannah liked that movie more than I did.
I think it was really interesting. I just find the build up at the end was it was misplaced. They should have done something else.
Yeah.
And built it up.
I can see
Just
that.
because, her character, it just didn't feel like she was a hopeless romantic. She was there for the money, but then halfway she becomes like, just a little bit of a change in character at the start of the movie would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Because it makes more sense if she was like, it felt like Pretty Woman, but with more realistic stakes. I don't know.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
We didn't like Real Pain. We did not like that.
That was one I actually. It's on one of my streaming. I think maybe on Hulu here now. That was one that I was gonna try to check out, but I have not seen that yet.
It's a tough watch just because,
Kieran Culkin's character is just like one of the worst characters in cinema history. It's terrible. I couldn't watch it. I was so angry.
Yes, you have two actors who play neurotic characters together.
Another one that we liked was a Better Man with the Rob Williams story.
I've not seen that yet, but I've heard some people say give it a chance.
Man, that movie is fantastic.
That is the best biopic I've watched in a long time.
Nosferatu, we enjoyed that one. That was good. Yeah, that was good. Sing Sing, Coleman Domingo. That was good.
I want to see that. That barely got a release around me. I'm not in a big area.
Same. It barely got.
Yeah, very
And I missed
limited.
it.
Very limited release.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I might actually be seeing Hard Eyes, so we'll see about if I get out to see that. You'd mentioned Companion. I really enjoyed Companion. I really like that one.
Yeah, that works.
What about movies that you're looking forward to this year? Are you looking forward to some movies this year?
I was trying to look back or through the list. That's where I feel bad. Sometimes I kind of lose track of what is coming out, what hasn't.
Well, we've done we did a draft of
Yeah.
this movie. So I selected Zootopia 2,
Jesus to make
Oh.
money.
Superman.
I'm a
Possible
Superman
final.
sucker. Yep.
Yep, love Superman. Got Superman's up behind it. Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Love
Oh,
that.
yeah, I watched that.
28 Years Later, the Danny Boyle movie.
Yeah.
And Mickey 17, which is coming out soon. Love the.
Sorry, I start talking. You're going. Those were previews. That preview played before Companion when I went to see that in the theater, and that was the first time I saw or heard anything about that one. And that one looks interesting to me.
Directed by Bong Joon-ho, who did Parasite.
Yeah.
Great. Snowpiercer. Great.
I think apparently some say it's similar to Snowpiercer work.
Hannah selected Jurassic Park Rebirth.
Okay.
The dinosaur movie.
Movie. Wicked for Good. Hannah's looking forward to that. Lilo and Stitch, the live action movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Four. Speaking of live action, there's How to Train Your Dragon is coming out too, isn't it?
Yeah. And who's it starring? Jerry Butler.
Jerry. Good old Jerry.
It's actually funny that he returns and he's playing the dad and he can. That's just great.
I'm gonna call him Jerry from now on. One I was really looking forward to and I got to see in the theater, but I was a little let down on was Wolfman. I did get out in the theater to see that one.
The director of that movie, Australian. So let's go. Directed Invisible Man, which was a far better movie. But Wolfman was fine. It was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine. Some good scares. But yeah, what the problem with that movie was the couple just didn't work.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been together, and she was way too young for him. Like Julia Garner, fine actress, but just did not work. And the whole of that movie, for that to work, was you had to believe that these two were a couple. They loved each other, and there was a real risk of their relationship here. You wanted them to break up. You know, they were just so annoying as a couple. You know, so when those movies need to work, you need to be invested in that relationship and they actually have stakes. You know.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about Companion, and I'm blanking on Quaid.
Bongos.
Jack?
Jack Quaid.
Quaid. Sorry, I was blanking on his name. That was another trailer that played before that one was Novocaine. Have you seen
Novocaine.
That looked interesting. I don't know. Something a little different.
Yeah, it does. He's a purebred nepo baby.
Yeah, right. I know, exactly. It took me a while to figure out. And when I first saw him in The Boys, I didn't realize who his parents were. So that was kind of a newer thing for me. Man, I'm just trying to look through real quickly on some of the... did you see the trailer that they dropped for Accountant 2?
Yes.
For Affleck and...
Pete's doing a whole he does not watch trailers. So
okay. Well, you're probably better off. I mean...
Yeah, no. But Accountant 2 looks so bad, but so good in so many ways.
That's what I mean. That's why I watched Plane the other night, where I just wanted an action movie, and I don't care if it's kind of predictable.
Purely what this one's going to be is just action. Yeah, sure.
First one was great.
Yeah. That
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say they're leaning into the action. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. But Affleck was good in that one, I thought, and then I like that John Berthal. I'm probably saying his name wrong. But...
The Punisher.
Yes,
Walking
Punisher and Walking Dead, and but then J.K. Simmons is in there too. I saw for a little bit, but I don't know how much of it.
Well, yeah.
He was good in the first one.
Yeah, let's say he's barely in the second one.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But,
You don't know. You'll have to find out when you watch the movie.
Man.
No, he's barely in it. You don't know?
How do you know from the trailer? Oh, he's dead.
I did think it was kind of a different twist that they were doing for the Fantastic Four, though. Like the theme, the kind of the time frame and the feel that they had for that one. That looked pretty interesting.
I watching the trailer made me realize how much I enjoyed Fantastic Four when I was younger.
Yeah.
Those the 2005 movies, and even I used to watch the animated series as a kid and stuff. And I'm just like so pumped. I'm just like this movie. Yeah.
So it got you excited for it.
Yeah, I think for me, I love setting it in a different time period. I think that's gonna give a different spin because we have been getting the same kind of superhero movies, especially from Marvel as of late. So going for a completely different time period, and also there's this space race vibe they're going for because they're going back up into space in this movie,
Right.
and then I know they're going to set up the next, big thing in the movie, but it won't happen till probably like the end or even the end credit. So it's going to be just a hopefully solid Fantastic Four movie. And I love Pedro Pascal. He's good. I love him.
Yeah. No, it should be fun.
Hopefully doesn't die in this one.
Okay.
Well, and then I always forget her name.
Vanessa Kirby.
I like her. She's been in like some of the Mission Impossible and a few other. I know I'm blanking on other things, but yep, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to see that. So we were talking about like going through your AFI 100 and that whole series. Do you have any other things you're kind of thinking about rolling out that is available for the general public yet, or like things you're looking into maybe doing for your channel?
The next draft.
We've got a draft coming up, 2005 movie draft. They're fun. They're fun. You select movies.
So like when people, maybe if people aren't familiar with your drafts, you want to kind of explain like what you do with that or what you're doing?
Yeah, so normally it's like four people drafting, and then so we put names in the hat and then you select in order, and then there's categories. So normally like action, comedy, Oscar nominee, box office, wild card. So you can select pretty much anything. Rotten or not, so a movie that's got a terrible rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but you think it's great, you're reclaiming it. So yeah, they're fun.
And we just pick a year.
Yeah.
Or we've done like director. We did Ridley Scott.
We did Ridley Scott. We did 2015. We did 1993.
No, 4?
Oh, 1990, we did.
We did 1990.
Yeah,
because we didn't do 91. That would end up in a fight.
We did 2000, Hannah's birthday. That was her birthday draft.
Yeah.
That was good.
Gladiator and such.
Yeah.
Films.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did those. They were good. The one that we're trying to get off the ground is just reclaiming old movies. That's great. But yeah, they're the main stuff that we do.
Yeah, no, the most recent draft we did, which was 2015.
Yeah.
Ended in tears.
Yeah, I took focus.
Yeah, I had this. I try not to say I go in sometimes like saying I don't care except for one movie, so don't touch this movie, and it'll be some random movie of that year. Anyway, I try to be quiet on what 2015 because there's an obvious pick because I love Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's probably my favorite movie of that year. But I was like, if I don't get it, I don't care because I have my secret pick.
Yeah.
And but Peter knows my secret pick because he knows how much I love Focus, starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie. And he picked it, and then someone else picked Man from U.N.C.L.E. and I just sat there crying.
So I end up saying 2015 movie draft. I end up getting San Andreas in action. Drama was Focus. Oscar nominee, I got The Martian. Comedy, I went The Intern. Horror thriller, I went Sicario. Blockbuster worldwide, I went Furious 7. Rotten or Not, I went Pixels, starring the great Adam Sandler. Wild Card, I went Straight of It. Denny, one of the After Brothers, he went Mad Max Fury Road, Beasts of No Nation, The Lobster, Big Short, Land of Mine, Kingsman, Secret Service, Bone Tomahawk. Hannah ended up going The Boy and the Beast, Hateful Eight, Spotlight in Oscar nominee. Comedy was Ted 2. You love that movie.
I love Ted too.
Black Hat.
It's funny.
Black Hat Thriller. Like, you did not need to go that. You went
Do you
that.
know what the funniest thing? I was just picking movies I'd never seen. So Black Hat, I've seen half of that movie, so that got on the list.
Michael Mann movie. Age of Ultron. Wild Card in Rotten or Not. You never seen that. And in Wild Card, you went Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'd never seen Wild Card, but it had Jason Statham in it, and I know that's a good movie anyway.
Which
So,
movie?
Wild Card. It's on Amazon.
Oh, I thought you said Brooklyn, and I'm like,
Oh no,
Oh, no, Brooklyn, yeah.
Brooklyn. I also have
okay.
on my list.
I was like, when you said Jason Statham, I was like, that's a different Brooklyn than I saw.
Yeah, that would have made Brooklyn a superior film and everything. You know?
If he would have been
Brooklyn
the
Five.
guy in it,
Imagine Jason Statham.
that would have been funny.
The beekeeper just shows up.
Yeah, right.
That's my movie.
He'll win her over.
Oh, of course. Who wouldn't want that? He's got Jason Statham has a new movie coming out called A Working Man.
I've heard the
God.
title, but I've not seen anything about it.
If you love The Beekeeper, A Working Man is going to be your next hit.
So he's keeping with his regular stride on the movies.
Oh,
then.
Oh yeah, it's the same movie except someone gets taken in this one, and he has to.
Taken.
It's about if the last one was about scamming, this one's about human trafficking, but in a working man sort of situation.
There you go.
But the 92 draft, that was really good. So I selected Under Siege, Patriot Games, Malcolm X, A League of Their Own, Basic Instinct, Lethal Weapon 3, House Sitter, Reservoir Dogs. Hannah, what did you select?
Dang.
Hannah went Last of the Mohicans, Glenn Glary again Ross, My Cousin Vinny, Stop or My Mum Will Shoot in comedy, Bodyguard and Batman Returns. Also Pure Country and Home Alone 2. So,
Pure Country and Home Alone.
Little George Strait there, yeah. Trying to.
yeah. Love
Who
yeah,
doesn't?
Not much acting, but
Okay,
yeah.
No.
the acting's great, but the music is fabulous.
There you go.
Cole Chandler was in that movie. Cole Chandler, Coach.
Oh,
The
okay.
music is
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it was
funny.
produced by the same guy that produced Ocean's movies.
Yep.
Huh. That's funny. Holland was saying, I'm in for A Working Man.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Oh, that's funny. Like I said, I saw the title pop up on a thing about, and I knew he was in it, but I have not watched a teaser or trailer or anything on it, so I didn't know anything. But even Beekeeper, I went and saw that when it was in the theater, and I had fun with it. I don't know. I had a good time.
Oh, it's stupid.
Yeah, stupid fun.
The movie version of Hillary Clinton, that was hilarious. That was funny.
Which one is that?
Beekeeper, the Madam President was supposed to be Hillary Clinton.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was missing that one, but okay.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons
Jeremy Irons was
He
CEO
wasn't
agent.
even the villain
Yeah.
in that movie.
Yeah. That was.
He was B-rated next to Josh Hutcherson in that movie.
It was the South African mercenaries. That was good. That's some good stuff in that movie.
Oh, I love
Good
that.
stuff.
I might have to rewatch that again. I saw that popped up on Prime, like on the Prime thing. So I'll have to rewatch that one again some night.
Beekeeper attacks the queen bee. Oh my god, it's just
Yep.
He directed
Cheesy good fun.
that directed that tank movie Fury. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
With
yeah,
Brad Pitt?
very good. Yeah.
That is a good movie.
Also directed
Suicide
Suicide
Squad.
Squad, the bad one. Yeah.
That was good.
No, it wasn't.
Good trailer.
He didn't direct
Good
that,
trailer.
so
Good trailer.
he didn't direct that.
Yeah, that was a weird time in movies. Weird time.
So I got to ask you though. I know I try to balance like trying to watch movies, whether it's home or going to the cinema, anything like that. How do you balance that out with everything else? Because it sounds like both of you sound like you take in a lot more movies than I do. Like, does it become a chore, or do you still have fun doing it as much as you do?
Always have fun going to the movies.
Yeah, we have fun going to the movies. That's never a chore. We love going to the movies. We love we try and
Even when you have to sit there watching Nicole Kidman and Tony Bennett.
oh Baby Girl. Oh my god, that was another film. Love that movie.
I did. Okay.
We
I did see your little. Sorry, not to keep where you're at right now. I don't want to sidetrack you too much, but I did watch. I did see you talking about that. I think that one because you went and saw it together, and you're like, that's kind of an odd one to go with your sibling.
Yeah, that was gross. That was gross.
No, the gross movie.
No, it was gross.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. So
also, like, there was old people in front of us and young girls in the back giggling. Also, like, it was just a weird.
It was really weird to sit in.
Where you're like, this isn't right.
Yeah, see with your younger sister, like that was gross. That was some.
Okay, sorry to bring that bad memory up, but
no. It was. I enjoyed the movie. It was like.
No, it was like
Disclosure. It was like Disclosure with Demi Moore and Michael Douglas. Like, classic film. The movies is what we enjoy. Like we try and go to dinner and we try and make it sort of like afternoon of it or night of it. We get a really good kick out of that. And then the streaming stuff, we try and watch it. I try and watch as much streaming stuff as I can. We do little snippets of those. It's just being organised. We find, I think, is just that's the key when it comes to it. And like you fit in work around.
Yeah, it helps when we have like late night movie sessions.
Yeah,
because we like sometimes there's like 9:00 sessions here, which is really good for us. But then there'll be weeks where the latest movie is like at 8:00 because then we miss out.
Yeah, so we normally finish the 8:00 time, 8:00, 9:00. So try and get a movie after work sometimes. But normally our days off are Sunday, Monday. So that's sort of when we try and fit most of our content in, and then we try and record, and then just editing throughout the week. That's sort of our week. But yeah, it's like I don't know, it doesn't feel like work. If it's fun, and then talking about something that you love as well, which it helps. Like sometimes like the movies suck, so then you got to try and find the best thing about it, and then you sort of try to equate it to another movie, and so that's sort of fun. But like, I don't know, like it's a hobby, but it feels, I don't know, it just feels natural to me. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah. I
enjoy movies.
Yeah, we love movies.
I love popcorn.
Yeah. That's another thing we've got in that movie. We got a popcorn machine. Oh, so good. It's like it's on wheels and stuff.
At your place?
Good. Yeah. It's
nice.
one of the parts of that. Yeah, popcorn machine. Once it's done, we'll do like a tour and we'll put it online. But it's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. In January, we rewatch a TV show every year, The West Wing, written by Aaron Sorkin. So that was our main January. So we did that every night. So you watch 4 episodes a night, and so that was fun.
You skipped some episodes.
Yeah, the ones we don't like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we enjoy that. So yeah, we like spending time together. I drive because we work at the same place, so I drive at home. So normally, we chat about what's going on in the movies and stuff like that. So that's sort of prepare the podcast for in the car. Really, that's
Yeah.
It's fun to have a partner in crime to do some of those things with. I would think
it is. I've done the stuff by myself, and it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard to talk. When you haven't got someone to bounce stuff off, so I do a lot of talking, but no, it's so much easier having Hannah there. I just bounce stuff off her, and half the time she thinks I'm an idiot, but which is fun, and so I get this reaction, and then sometimes I'm listening to her, I'm taking notes, and then she says some of the just craziest stuff that you ever think, and I love it. Then I don't feel so bad. She says some great stuff.
And then she sits and listens to your crazy stuff that you say to her, right? Then
exactly.
But that's what's fun about having somebody else that you have some different opinions, but you can bounce ideas or things off back and forth between each other, and you might not always click on the exact same things, but it's great to have somebody to have that conversation with.
But it's just like sometimes like you say something and she'll just say just shoot it down, and then you just go that's a no-go zone, so you just don't go there. And it's so, like sometimes I come up with the really strange ideas, and then Hannah says that's nope, say that, don't say that. And so yeah, it is really good having that, and then you just like I don't know, you just know. It's really weird doing it with your sister. You just know when sometimes you go, okay, we'll just not talk to each other for a bit, and then we're fine. And
We'll come back.
then we come back, So yeah, sometimes
I need a moment. I need a moment.
Yeah, sometimes we won't talk to each other for a whole day.
We won't talk. Yeah, or we'll watch a movie and we won't say anything to each other.
Yeah, and then sometimes like we'll watch a movie and then we'll go in the car and we won't say anything, and just be silence, and we'll just be listening to music, and then we get home and we go to our separate things, and then we come back and we start talking about the movie, and it's just like blah, 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 like So like, what's the movie that we were just silent for ages from? It was just recent one.
There was a movie you were like I can't.
I can't speak for a bit. Yeah, it was a recent movie, and yeah, I just don't want to speak for. I think it might have been Dinner Thieves too.
That was one, but there was a previous film.
I just wanted to. Yeah, it's funny how like things like work like that.
That's funny. So like doing that when you were watching all these movies, have there been any that you've had really big disagreements on? Like one is really positive for it, and the other like really negative. Like, do you have any that are the big divides between the two of you?
Hannah sometimes just goes, "You're just wrong. You're just wrong about this movie." Just like Baby Girl was one that she just did not.
Okay, so that would be one.
That was one recently. But there was like one last year. You were just like,
we had a big fight about it.
There was a big fight, and then you end up coming back and saying, "You're right about that movie." It was Gladiator 2. You loved it.
Oh, Gladiator 2.
Gladiator 2, and you loved it. I go, no, this movie is not very good, Hannah. And then she had to come back around, and she said, "Pete, you're right."
On reflection.
She did an apology video on Instagram. On reflection, you were right. It wasn't that good. Like that was
break it down. That movie is good.
I actually haven't seen it yet. I actually haven't seen it yet.
Well, we won't go into it much, but like afterwards, we were like, we weren't saying much, and then we got onto the podcast and we started talking about it, and she just went, "You're just wrong. You're just wrong."
I just had a good time. Despite, I had a good time.
Oh, because I wanted to give it eye felt. It's like, no, you're wrong. This movie is, it's bordering on a banger. And I think we'll give it a golf club. It's bordering on a banger. And like, it was like, she was so adamant that this movie was good. And so I didn't want to push it. Because like,
I love Ridley Scott.
I did not like it. So I was just like, and she goes, "No, you're Russell Crowe, you're blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I was a little bit, but I think, Hannah, if you analyse it, this movie's not good. And then so we went and saw it again. And then afterwards she goes, "You know what? You're right. This movie does not work." The Denzel Washington bits, they're good, but
the Pedro Pascal.
The Paul Mescal bits, you're right. He's not the right
guy. The way they do that.
That was a really bad one.
There's some odd ideas of that movie when you break it down. You're like, why did they even decide? Yeah, it's still worth a watch.
Yeah,
a couple of times I had to be dragged down. Like I'm a bit higher on movies, except for Gladiator 2. But I'm a bit higher, and she goes, no. That's no. You need to. And so
kids movies, you tend to give them higher ratings than they deserve.
Yeah, I give kids movies like a big pass, like and then like the Bridget Jones one, I'm gonna give that a banger, right? To preempt my thing. I love that movie. I really did. It was very funny. I cried. Like it was a really good movie, right? Hannah was like, "Nah, that movie's." I played on my phone. It's a 2. And
I've been willing to give it a go.
Oh, we're gonna give it a banger. Like
we're not.
We're going to. No, we're going. We're going to give it a banger.
It's fine.
No, we're going to give it a banger.
I'm not really good at this, but I'm sensing a little bit of a disagreement between the two of you.
Well, it's just
kidding.
It's funny because the movie, it hit a chord with him, but then me, I'm like, I can see what it's trying to do, and I refuse to acknowledge.
We get out of Hard Eyes last night, and she goes, "That was better than Bridget Jones." And I was like, "Whoa, whoa." Well, Hard Eyes was funny, but it wasn't good.
It was good.
It wasn't good.
It was stupid.
It was stupid, but it was good. It wasn't good.
As parody movies go.
Yeah, no, it was good, but it wasn't Bridget Jones. That movie's good.
No, it's not.
It is really good.
No, it's fine for the audience it's going for.
Tugged at the heartstrings. Actually, laugh out loud funny. You know,
I never laughed out loud funny.
What the cinema did.
Yeah, well,
there was like a couple hundred people in this cinema.
The demographic were in the cinema, so yes.
And the demographic were people my age, so that's fine.
Middle-aged women.
See?
I love it. I love it.
Like,
no offense, because I've been on that boat too, but I just, for me,
I bet you would have given it a 4 stars if Pedro Pascal was a love interest in that movie.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
or if Jerry was in it.
Jerry Butler was in it. But I also
imagine Jerry Butler as Bridget Jones' love interest.
There you go, right there.
Love it.
No, but also it doesn't help that I am someone who hasn't seen the rest of those films, whereas Peter has. I've never watched.
You don't need to see the rest of the films.
You actually really don't. You can go into this movie and understand exactly what this movie's trying to do.
It's funny how that movie didn't come. It's not going to come out in cinemas over you. You're getting it on Peacock. Like that's a strange. They've made it for the rest of the world, and you're getting it on Peacock.
Yeah, it's interesting how that stuff happens with the streaming and the releases, and it's interesting.
Because that was a huge release over here. Like it was a big deal. It was in the press. There's more tickets sold for Bridget Jones than was Barbie. Like that's how big the premiere is and stuff. So yeah, and it's only getting a streaming release over in the States. So
that's what should have happened to Better Man. Better Man was gonna flop.
Better Man. I don't know how they spent $100 million on that movie to make that movie, because it's about Robbie Williams, who's not well known in the States. Big guy here. But that movie is really good. It never deserved to be that good. It's really good.
Yeah, it was so big here. It was so big here. He did a free concert in Melbourne just to promote the movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like thousands and thousands of people turned up.
Showed up.
The director of Better Man was Michael Gracie, who is Australian, and he directed The Greatest Showman, starring Hugh Jackman.
Which does this. The Better Man is actually one of those, like, it just feels very theatrical in moments. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it is, except for the monkey bit, it is like a regular biopic. Like, you know, his father was a jerk, and you know, his first role as a boy band guy, he was
the
manager jerk. You know, so there's like that trope. But he's a monkey. He's a monkey.
He's a monkey, though.
He's a monkey.
That's why I want to watch it. I want to see how that works.
He's a monkey.
It seems interesting.
Snorting cocaine.
And everyone is just not even acknowledging he's a monkey.
Yeah.
Because he's a person.
He's dancing on the boat with Nicole Appleton, who was a member of All Saints, and they're singing and dancing like it's a Fred Astaire Ginger Rogers movie. It's just unbelievable.
Monkey, but it's also
chimpanzee. I think they'll like to be called.
Yes, but the monkey is how he sees himself.
True.
Because he
cheeky.
He was the cheeky monkey. He was the cheeky member. You know? He's the naughty one.
Yeah, love it.
And so that's how he sees himself.
I'll have to check that out. For sure. I'm going to jump in the chat just real quick. I saw a couple people jumping in here. We got Kevin, Movie Collector Maniac, said, "Hey, Corey." He was commenting on the big white beard going on. Thank you, sir, for saying that. And then saying hi. Mark is in here saying, "Hey, everyone." Some hellos back and forth there. But, I want to check that one out. I'm interested to see how they pulled that off. And I've heard a few different people that watched it say they were surprised how much they liked it, actually. So
yeah,
they were not. They were going into it not expecting to like it as much as they did. But.
Yeah, I never really listened to Robbie Williams' music, so going in, I knew some of the music, but I didn't know his story at all. And then Pete is a fair.
No,
is a fan. So he knew going in what was happening, and so it's interesting. But that's the same thing. We went into the Bob Dylan movie, and yeah, I was
what a movie.
I was on the opposite end of that one.
Love the Bob Dylan.
I was not a fan.
So the Timothy, he didn't sway you over.
No, for me, he's never been like the heartthrob attractive.
Okay.
To the theater.
You never know with
enjoy him.
people. You never know. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't get people, but for me, he's the nerd because he's like he used to make YouTube videos. He used to make modded 360 controllers.
What's wrong with YouTube videos?
No, I'm saying that's
Yeah, who does
he's
that?
Not the hot guy, but for me, when he was Wonka, that's the only time I'm on like.
Are you saying
I loved him.
you can't be hot making a YouTube video?
No.
Corey and I are offended.
Yeah. Oh, my day's just been wrecked right now. So thanks, Hannah.
Way to bring down the mood, Hannah. Way to bring down the mood.
You can talk about how old I look now.
It's like a string bean.
It's true.
But no, it's always interesting because I know there's like some names where, but even in my house, you know, like my wife and my daughter, like there's some names of actors that will come up and they're like, ooh, and the other ones they're like, Matt, and I'm like, really? Because I hear other people talk about them, so it's always kind of interesting when you.
For example, what's some good ones
for them?
What's their names?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, there was some. Oh gosh. Well, so like actually, when you said about Timothy Chalamet, that was one I brought up to my daughter that I'm like, oh, he's in it, and she's like, nah. So she even said the same thing too, where she was just kind of like, she's like, nah, that's not my thing. But
you like Wonka. You like
I like
Wonka.
Wonka, but I also like musicals.
Yeah, we went and saw that musical.
I'm trying to think of what ones they've commented on before. Now I'm like blanking on it. And if I say the wrong one, they'll like listen to it later and be like, I never said that one, you know, kind of a thing. But no, I'm blanking now. But that was one that I thought I was like, oh, I hear everybody talking about him, and my daughter was like, no, nope.
No.
You love the Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, I love him a lot. He's like my number one right now. I like I think his name's Will Porter. The eyebrows. He's from he was in Guardians 3 as the Adam Warlock.
Wasn't he Maze Runner too?
I don't know if he was, but he was in the Bear recently.
Yeah,
He was in Where the Millers. Oh my god, that kid.
No, I know who you're
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's funny.
There are some actors I'm like, yeah, that's objectively attractive. I don't know. It is actually hard when you get asked that question because you can't think of it. But if you saw movies, I used to pick movies just based on actors. Like Chris Hemsworth.
I don't think you're out of the ordinary there. I think that happens with a lot of people.
I saw like Chris Hemsworth, Rob Pattinson, and Zac Efron. I used to see anything that had them in them.
Yeah.
True.
I used to, and I'd watch some movies I was not supposed to be watching, but I'd watch anything with them in it.
Have you ever watched that movie? The one with Zac Efron, Miles Teller, and Michael B. Jordan. I think it's got a different name over here than it is like, Are We Officially Dating or something like that over here or something like that. I don't know what it was called over in your neck of the woods, but
It's something else.
they were really because there's a big gap between Hannah and I. Like there's like over 20 years, and so I used to take them to the movies as young kids, and so they would say, "Oh, okay," and I think they would have been 10 or something like that, and then
No, it was just, but it was like we were like 13 or something.
13?
Yeah.
And so they go, "Oh, can we go see this Zac Efron movie?" I said, "Sure." Go to the movie, and it is so sexually explicit, and I'm like, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
And then we also saw Bad Neighbors.
Like, yeah, and then they go see. Oh, can we go see Bad Neighbors 2?
And Bad Neighbors.
And it's like it's got
Zac Efron in it.
Zac Efron in it. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, okay,
Seth
sure.
Rogen.
I was like, yeah, okay, sure. Like, let's go see this movie. And I'm like, oh, what have I done? What?
You're getting in trouble. Yeah.
I am like, and then I take him, and my mum goes, "Oh, what did you see?" And they go, they said they saw a Zac Efron movie, and then I'm out. I'm just like ran. I'm like, gone. I'm like, I can't. I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
You're like, I think it was Paddington Bear or something like that. No.
Yeah. Well, there was one with the was Josh Gad, and he's
Oh,
it
The
was
Wedding Ringer.
with Kevin Hart, and they go, "Oh, can we go see this movie? It's got Penny from The Big Bang Theory,"
That's exactly.
and I was like,
That was
"Sure."
your selling
like,
point.
and it's like, "Oh, it's about weddings." I was like, "Oh, it can't be that bad," you know. And I'm like, and then they'd waited enough time before the other one, so I'd like sort of like, forgotten that they tricked me into seeing this Zac Efron movie.
Yeah.
So I go, and I'm like, you can't watch this movie. I'm like, what have I done again? And so research, Pete, research.
You tricked me again.
Yeah, 100%.
So Hannah had it down. She figured out how to get you to check out
like
movies.
they just get me because it's movies, so easy, like
There's actors in it. I like this actor.
I'm in.
Right,
I'm in.
exactly.
You got me.
That's it.
Okay, shifting gears a little bit. That is funny though. But when you're talking about movies that you both like, and we are not to go back to it again, but when you were doing the series with AFI 100, are there any movies that you absolutely love that are not on that list that you would? Do you have any nominations that you think you would want to? If you could have like a couple. I don't want to like narrow it down to one, but if you had one or two, something that you'd be like, definitely that should be on that list, but it's not on there.
Two behind us.
The two behind. Three?
A few
All
good
three
men
of them?
and when I
You wouldn't want Tombstone there too?
No, I'm happy with that. No, I was happy with Shane and
Shane, come back,
that
Shane.
that was good.
Come back.
Yeah, I love Shane.
Got
No,
some high noon on there.
I just don't understand. How when Harry Met Sally's not on there, it's just great.
Yeah.
What's you?
I don't know. For me, I'm just thinking.
Oh, the Fred Astaire.
Oh, there is like Swing Time is on there. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers' Swing Time movie's on there. But that movie's not as good as Top Hat, which is probably their most well-known film together. That it's excellent, and it's also funny. And I don't know, I feel like Swing Time's just not as good. I think a Vincent Minnelli movie not being on there because they don't have American in Paris on there
That's
on
true.
the list.
Oh.
But
The original one that did.
I would argue actually Meet Me in St. Louis with Judy Garland. I'd put also probably a Doris Day movie on there. Don't care which one.
You don't
Maybe
care which one?
Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk probably because it's the most famous, but it's not my favorite. I love the Move Over Darling with James Gardner, which is the one where she's presumed dead for 5 years and comes back. And then James Gardner's just gotten married, but, and she comes back and it ruins it. Oh, hilarious, that movie.
I've not seen that one. Well, I'll too.
Doris, anything, I don't know.
Clem and Jane. You love Clem and Jane.
I love Clem and Jane, but that doesn't make a list. there are some movies I know don't make the list.
Yeah.
You
love it, but you're not going to try to force it on that list.
There are things that just don't make it through customs.
I love that. Doesn't make through customs.
6 degrees of separation for that and that movie, where they did like a genealogy sort of thing for our family, and we're related to Wild Bill Hickok, who was the love interest of Columbia Jane.
Howard Keel in that movie.
Howard Keel in the movie.
Huh.
Yeah, we're relation to Wild Bill Hickok. Yeah, that was our claim to fame as family.
Take it, claim it.
I think the other movie would be Funny Girl because I love Barbra Streisand, and I think Funny Girl is brilliant. I love that movie, but I love Barbra Streisand, so
yeah.
I'll take anything.
What did we watch the other day? Oh, the Mirror Has Two Faces.
Yeah, directed by Barbra Streisand.
Yeah.
Oh.
Incredible.
That movie's crazy. That movie
only works Barbra Streisand.
That movie's crazy. Have you seen that movie, Corey? Mirror Has Two Faces.
No, I have not. No.
Stars Barbra Streisand and Jeff Bridges.
Pierce Brosnan, George Segal,
Lauren Bacall.
Oh wow, there's a lot of names there.
Very famous cast.
There's like a famous song with Bryan Adams. Yeah, there's like
Finally Found Someone.
I finally found someone. Yeah.
I have not seen that.
Yeah.
It's
romantic
comedy.
late 90s.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
Yeah. Barbra Streisand plays the typical. She's
Ugly
not
duckling.
a pretty. Yeah, she's not the pretty daughter. Jeff Bridges is this handsome guy, but he only cares about math and he doesn't care about women, but he needs to find someone, you know. And
Even though he's like as attractive as Jeff Bridges is.
Yeah.
in that movie, he's like smoking in that movie, and yeah, every woman wants him, but he doesn't want. He only cares about the numbers.
He's like one of those two that they just throw like a pair of glasses on him, and he's like, "Oh, he's the nerdy guy," you know, even though he's a hot guy or whatever. They just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
throw a pair of glasses on. He's like, "Oh, look, he's the nerdy
Yeah.
guy."
Same as Bob Streisand's like all haggity wearing sweats for in the movie, and then when she has a makeover,
Gets blonde hair.
she highlights and
Yeah.
she's always beautiful. She's Bob Streisand. She's stunning. She's a stunning woman, Peter. Anyway,
Another disagreement I hear coming on, but no.
there's no disagreement. She's queen. We love her.
No, you know who's a stunning woman? Grace Kelly. No, that's a stunning movie.
Yeah, she was a stunning woman.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Watching High Society the other night, banger. Great movie. She's hilarious in that movie.
Bing.
Grace Kelly playing drunk, hilarious. She's funny.
Told you.
Which one was that she was doing that?
High Society.
It's the
Okay.
last film.
She did before she became a princess.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. The only one I'm thinking about that I had a good friend that always made jokes about. We were talking about it earlier too, but Hitchcock with the Rear Window with her, in it. Where somebody beautiful in that. But there was a friend of mine. He was like, "That movie's so unbelievable," and I'm like, "What?" That he's like checking out across like. Finding a murder scene, checking out the whole thing. He's like, no, Grace Kelly's throwing herself all over him the whole time, and he's just like, kind of like pushing her to a side. And I'm like, I'm gonna check out what my neighbors are doing. They're like, that's so fake. How in the world would some guy be pushing Grace Kelly off of him, and be like, I'm more interested in what.
That's how stupid the human nature is. When someone's throwing it, you go, oh no. But when they don't even pay attention to you,
That's what
that's what Hitchcock does, yeah.
But also that works in that movie because
it does.
Grace Kelly maybe is attracted to that side of him, the fact that he doesn't care that she's the most beautiful woman in the world.
Yeah.
No. It is.
But I just thought that was funny. He was like, I can't believe that movie because of that right there.
Yeah. No, completely understandable because, like, Jimmy Stewart's great, fantastic, love him. I do.
The best thing about Hitchcock movies is like how quickly they end. They just wrap up so quickly. It's just like the Perry Mason. So Raymond Burr plays the bad guy in that movie, and they're just like off screen. He's like choking out Jimmy Stewart, and then they fall, and then they arrest him, and that's the end. And then the next scene, he's in their wheelchair, and Grace Kelly's lying on the bed, and that's the end. Like. It's so quick. Like, boom, boom, boom. Same with North by Northwest. Oh, he's arrested. Let's get married. Bang. Yep. That's it. It's like done. So good. Like, done.
Well, he doesn't want to do a 3-hour movie like modern movies right now. He's like, wrap it up quick. But he's got a lot of great ones. I still got to dig into more of his. I have a couple sets that I bought of his movies, and I've watched quite a few of them, but there's still quite a few I need to get through in that.
Marnie, Rebecca.
The Man Who Knew Too Much.
The Man Who Knew Too Much. Birds.
Vertigo. Psycho.
Yeah, so good. Psycho, of course.
Psycho and Vertigo are both on the list.
The Man on the Train.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I think it's Man on the Train.
One I haven't seen that a couple people were teasing me that I hadn't seen it yet was Dial M for Murder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep.
Oh, Anatomy of a Murder.
Dial M for Murder. Good.
I got to see that one. Yep, there's quite a few of them. I was going to say hi real quick. Chris is jumping in here saying evening, everyone. We got Gizmo in here saying hi. Thank you, Gizmo. You're not going to read your whole thing. Give me a hard time as usual, but love seeing you guys in here. But no, it's been fun. I know I'm hitting. I know I'm good. I don't know how you all are doing, but I know we went past the 2-hour mark at this point. I don't know how you're hanging in there. If you're
good. Strangers on the Train, the movie was. And you know the other good movie for To Catch a Thief. That movie's what a banger.
Yeah.
Grace Kelly, Cary Grant.
Grace Kelly again. Yep. Yeah, you got another. Cary Grant's great.
Yeah, so good.
That's great.
That's a good movie.
I have seen that, but I wouldn't mind rewatching that one again sometime.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, North by Northwest, that's a good one. That was on the list. That was good. I
just recently watched that one. It was just last year I think I saw that one. But
yeah, it's good movie.
I don't know why I got such
Yeah.
a kick out of. I didn't realize how much of the action scenes were taking place on Mount Rushmore. Being a big
Yeah.
monument in the United States, like it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew it had something to do with that because I'd seen pictures from the movie before, but I don't know why. But I got kind of a kick out of like how much action was taking place on the monument there. But
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Like a national treasure too.
What a cast! Like, you
Oh,
know, James Mason. Like, yeah, like Eva Marie Saint. Like, oh my god, Cary Grant. Just a great cast.
yep. No, Cary Grant, he's another good one that I've been diving into quite a few different ones, but
Oh,
yeah. Speaking of him, I mean that was like ours, wasn't it? Sharad, that we watched together.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he was in there.
Audrey. Yeah, that was
Yep.
good. That was his
Audrey.
last good movie.
That's what he says. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. He had such a great career. To Catch a Thief was so good. He's like early stuff with like Katharine Hepburn, Bringing Up Baby, Philadelphia Story,
The Holiday.
The Holiday.
That
You know, on
the
The
holiday. What's
yeah,
that?
they never go on the holiday. Oh,
Yeah.
it's the. Yeah, they never go on this holiday because it happens at the end of the movie. That's the only thing. It was one of those movies where I was just waiting for them to go on this magical holiday.
Yeah.
Never happened. But
Well, that was the
it
funny thing
good.
with that too, where he was just like, I'm not going to work anymore. I'm just gonna,
Yeah, I mean, call it a day. It's like
Yeah.
cinema's not as good as it used to be. I don't need to be here.
Like,
It's interesting.
but like his other movies, are like An Affair to Remember,
Love
like
that movie.
um,
Houseboat.
Houseboat,
Houseboat.
Arsenic and Old Lace. Yeah,
I've not seen that.
So that is a really good movie. Yeah, it's
Operation
just
Petticoat.
Operation Petticoat, Suspicion. That was another Alfred Hitchcock movie. That was good. His Girl Friday. We talked about that earlier.
Oh,
It's really
yeah.
fun. Yeah, his young movies, he's like the handsome,
Yeah.
chauvinistic kind of thing guy, and then in his later movies, he's the grumpy old man type that young women fall for every time. And
Yeah.
it works. It just works.
Yeah.
I think that was
Like-
another thing a friend of mine said when she was watching some of those. She was like, "How old is he and how young is she?" Like when you're like
Yeah.
Trade or like some of those where it's like there looks like there's he's a good looking older guy, but there's a bit of age difference between the two of
Yeah.
them.
100%.
Yeah, Only Angels Have Wings with Jean Arthur. Love Jean Arthur. She's great. Saw her in Shane. Coming up in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Great movie.
I still need to watch that. I have that one and I have not watched it yet.
I watched it.
What a movie. Frank Capra. Yep.
Yeah, Frank Capra is probably one of the directors I probably like favorite on the list.
So is
Yeah.
that something that you had before you were doing like the AFI 100, or is that something that developed a little more from that?
I think it developed on the list because I loved It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
That's the movie. That's one of my favorite movies. And then I've seen Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and I think,
It Happened One Night. You like that?
and I love It Happened One Night as well.
Yeah.
I own that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. It's been a while since
Yeah.
I've seen it, but yeah,
I,
an older
yeah.
film.
Love.
Yeah, that was a good story behind that, like Clark Gable and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris
Oh.
was saying Frenzy is a great Hitchcock film that he likes, but yeah, It Happened One Night. That one surprised me. That was like an older one where I started dipping my toe into some older films, and that I enjoyed it. It was a good movie.
Oh, it's so good because you can see it's the template for what modern like romance movies and just modern like there are so many books with the character Clark Gable plays in it is the archetype of so many characters in modern female romance literature. Like it's so to a T.
Yeah.
Like the exact kind of arc he goes through. And I love it. I don't know. It's a timeless quality to it that's surprising to it.
Well, and I started
you-
jumping into some older films then too. With I didn't know it was, and I had to look it up because I'm not going to pretend I knew it right off the top of my head. But Claudette Colbert, that was
Yes.
playing
Yeah.
next to him in that. I started diving into some of her films then too. After that,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I enjoyed her in there.
It was
But-
highly successful.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. I'm trying to think if I've what other Claudette Colbert movies I've watched. I can't. Off the
Well,
top
that's
of
what
my
I
head.
gotta look. I know I started diving into some of them, but I gotta
For
look
us,
back at it.
it's hard to find for us here to find older films from the 30s and 40s, especially like I like Clark Gable's work, but I can barely find it here.
Yeah,
I have to go like hunting down and searching because it just they don't even the only kind of people that get re-released or like collection DVDs that get released in stores are probably Hitchcock's or Bing Crosby's or Grace Kelly's, like just really famous people. I don't
yeah.
know. Sometimes
The Gilded Lily was a good one by Claudia Colbert. She was in the original Cleopatra as well.
I've heard of that one, but I have not seen that.
Yep.
Gosh, I
She
know
was
there's something else I saw that I liked with her, but now
blinking out.
I'll remember it about a half hour after we're off the stream. So.
Yeah.
yeah, she's a great actress. Blue Beards and Wife, Proudly We Hail, Midnight. She's a great actress. Great actress.
So that's one thing I would say in the past probably 5 to 6 years, I've dove more into some more black and white, like, your 30s, 40s movies. And I found so many great ones in there that I think up until that time, I kind of turned my nose up and kind of thought, I'd never get into that. But I don't know if that was something that's more been recent for the two of you, or if you've always kind of had some of that exposure to the classic ones and enjoyed them.
Hannah has always loved the classics. I grew up on them. Like, it was, we, when it rained over here on a Saturday, you'd watch old movies, and
Yeah.
my nana used to just love them. We had this guy called Bill Collins, Golden Years of Hollywood, and every weekend he would play movies. And so if you were, the rain was outside, you just sit inside and watch a movie, and that'd be like the old school Hollywood. So
Yeah.
yeah, I grew up on those, and so rewatching these again, and then introducing them to Hannah, like, yeah, it was so good. She was like, it was during COVID, like she just devoured them, like it
Oh yeah.
just unbelievable, like just the, you just, oh, I've got to see this, got to see this,
I
and
gotta kick
you
that.
watch when she watched the first Doris Day one, she goes, I got to watch more of
I've
this,
watched. Yeah.
like, and like she's seen movies that I haven't even seen now, like it's just amazing the
Yeah.
amount of movies that she's watched with all those old classic
Yeah.
actresses and actors and stuff. But yeah, like,
It's kind of funny how to get something new, you go to old movies to watch them sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I was getting kind of bored with some newer stuff at the time. I think when I dove into those, and it's just kind of funny when you're to mix things up, to get something new into your watch library. Like what you're going to be watching right now. It's to go back to like 30s, 40s type movies to do that. But
Yeah. At the time, they were original.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're technically watching copies of all those movies, but in a weird way. So
But then it's
they are.
fun. It's fun then too. Like when you're talking about like it happened one night, when you like, oh, this character or these situations, like you can see reflections of those in newer movies, and so it's kind of fun to watch that and be like, okay, how long ago was this? And I can see that, coming from there. But
100%.
oh, that's very cool. So do you have any? I know we were talking about some different things you were looking at for the channel to have coming up, but do you have anything like specifically you want to throw out that you might have coming up?
so
People
this
to
week
watch out
AFI Top 100 is Doctor Strangelove, and then what's next? The show where we help you figure out what to watch next. We're doing Bridget Jones,
I love
Bridget
Hannah's.
She's,
What you watch next?
Captain America,
Captain America
and
Hard
Hard
Eyes.
Eyes. And then on Thursday Movie News, we're recapping part 2, a recap of the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah.
So we recap all those. Then we'll do 2 weeks. We're doing the 2005 movie draft, and then we'll do a live reaction show to the Oscars.
Winners
And
stuff.
you can also catch this conversation on a podcast. We'll create a podcast of this conversation and we'll release it as well. So yeah, like that's sort of what's happening in the next month with Pete and Hannah's Watchlist.
Yeah. Watching movies.
And then you can catch, so pretty much we release, so Monday morning is the AFI Top 100, and then Tuesday night, Tuesday morning for What's Next, and then Wednesday morning for movie news. And in movie news we also preview the releases that are coming out in Australia. So that's all what we every week. So that's sort of the thing, and then we throw in special episodes on the weekend with like movie drafts and stuff like that. Try and do that once a month.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah, try.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
no, it's hard to keep up with everything, but you do way more than I do. So.
Yeah, and then just movie reviews. So like we like doing like 1 minute under 1 minute.
Yeah. Watch or miss.
Watch or miss.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got that down and packed. But yeah, that's sort of what comes up on the channel. So, but yeah, like if anyone ever wants to catch up with us on a podcast or anything like that, just reach out to us like Corey does, and we'll help out anyone with content.
Yeah.
If you want to talk rubbish for 2 hours, that's what we do.
And apparently, I'm really good at it too. So.
Yeah. So if anyone ever wants to do that, you can just reach out to us, and we'll come on anyone's podcast. Yeah, we've got we talk about a lot of different things, old movies, new movies, so we've got a lot of opinions.
I was going to say,
like
you have a good mix of movies that you all hit on. That's what I like that. I appreciate that. You got a wide variety that you talk about.
And what we do, like if you give us enough time, we do research on movies and we'll rewatch it and stuff like that. So if you're doing a rewatch podcast or something like that, we do the ones we've been on, sort of thing. We do rewatch it and do a lot of research on that. So we do care when we coming up with content. So if you ever need anything like that, we take it very seriously when it comes to that stuff. So yeah.
Well, we'll have to do another one. So maybe sometime we're going to do a watch of Man from Snowy River.
Yeah,
and then after Hannah, sorry, Hannah, I know I saw the sigh and the rolling of the eyes.
No.
But then we'll pick one out that Hannah would want to actually watch.
We 100% should live rewatch Man from Snowy River. Just get everyone
What if we watch the great film that is the 2008 Speed Racer film?
Whoa, what a movie.
Oh, I know you like that one a lot. Yeah.
What a movie.
One of the greatest films of all time.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be
Horsepower month.
Horsepower month.
You'll be ashamed of me, but I've never actually seen that movie before.
Oh, you'll get a kick out of it. If you like The Matrix, that is trash compared to their work in Speed Racer.
No. Wow. Those are bold words. Bold words.
I don't like the Matrix movies. Actually, when I think about it, I don't care for them, but Speed Racer is brilliant.
Hannah loves chimps. There's a chimp in that movie.
There is.
Yeah.
That's not the main reason I love that film. But that's true. There is a monkey in that movie.
So it's like the Man of the Year movie too.
Better man, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you love that movie.
For sure.
But I'll say to anybody that's been joining in with us tonight, I appreciate it. Well, there was a long hauler for the replay of this, and I'll say as soon as I start talking, I'm going to start choking on air. So sorry about that. But I have links for Pete and Hannah's the YouTube and the Instagram. I'll have to link up later. I don't have the podcast on there, so I will get that updated. I'll talk to you here in just a bit, and we'll get that updated. But I'll thank you both very much for coming, doing a year, almost a little over year later catch up again to hang out for a little bit, and hopefully we can do something again sometime in the future.
Definitely. Snowy River, I love watching along.
No, we should do the connection to horse racing throughout the years.
Oh wow, there could be something there.
And then we do the horse movies as well. We have to connect those as well to the horses.
There would be something there. Wow.
I could do it.
I know you could.
I could do it.
You just opened a rabbit. Yeah, we'll dive into the rabbit hole and go down through that whole thing. But yeah, if you two wouldn't mind hanging out for just a minute after we go off live, I just want to grab you. But again, everybody, thank you so much for jumping in tonight. It's always fun to be able to do this, and it doesn't take too much to twist my arm to talk about movies for a while. So I appreciate Pete and Hannah jumping in with me. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate that as well. And we'll love y'all, and we'll talk to y'all here really soon. So appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you
Bye.
later. Bye.